Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. This Fan Sports Update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Ohio State men's basketball outraced IU Indy 118-102 in its season opener Monday. Buckeyes fell 3 points short of the school's single-game scoring record, but did set a school record for 42 made free throws. College football, Ohio State linebacker Arvell Reese was named Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, while quarterback Julian was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Reese collected 12 tackles while Sand threw for 4 touchdowns. NFL trade deadline ends today at 4. Bengals dealt linebacker Logan Wilson to the Cowboys for a 7th-round pick. Former Buckeye Draymond Jones was traded from the Titans to the Ravens for a 5th-rounder that could become a 4th. And Jacoby Myers was dealt from the Raiders to the Jaguars. Up next on The Fan, catch Buckeyes head coach Ryan Day's press conference right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Welcome aboard. A little tap dance Tuesday for you here on Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. The Cannon at the controls. He'll give us the word here in a moment. Matty, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. How you doing today?
Good. Just figuring out the over-under this week. I feel like this presser could go past 12:30 just because you got CFP, you've got awards, you've got a game. Like, I think there's just a little more to this. I mean, listen, if you want to go into this press conference and say, hey, Coach, you're supposed to roll the next 3 teams by 30 points apiece. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Or maybe, hey, Coach, where did you vote your team this week? You know, we got the college football playoff rankings coming up. How do you feel?
Right?
Feel you're 1, 2, where do you want to be?
Let me throw this at you. Over under 1.5 questions on Purdue in this press conference today.
They did lose a running back, I think, this week.
They did.
Didn't help their
right.
cause.
I'm going to take
1.5 on Purdue.
I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I think 1 would be appropriate. You know, you always want to get 1 in on the opponent.
Sometimes we don't get any. Like for Grambling, I don't think we got 1. That was obviously, but we didn't get 1 Grambling question for that press conference.
What's the over-under? If I put the over-under on a half of Ryan Day saying, we're going to ask about the opponent this week?
Okay.
Is he going to then solicit questions about Purdue football?
No. Okay. I don't think he will.
You'll take the under on that as well?
I don't think he will.
This is where we are.
Yeah.
How do they keep sharp? How do they, get that knife sharpener out? How do they do that over the next 3 weeks where they should be a minimum of 28-point favorites in the next 3 games?
They were, 20.5, 21.5 point favorites against a program like Penn State, who we know obviously is down this year, but just perception and what Vegas thinks of them, I have to imagine they think more highly of Penn State than Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers right now. So I think you're absolutely right in where you are with that number right now.
Where it could change a little bit is if they get a feeling after the Purdue game that Ryan Day and his staff are going to protect the starters more than they have up to this point.
Maybe so. It's definitely one of those things. Like we hear coaches now, especially with the playoff and just how many games you have to play to win a natty, that you got to have depth. And so these are your opportunities to roll guys if your starters handle business in the first half. We've been talking about some games to where they haven't gone into the locker room with a massive lead, haven't really necessarily needed it because they've figured it out in the second half. But I think this absolutely is an opportunity for that. It's for young guys to get out there, figure some things out on the fly outside of practice, because you may need a couple of those guys if some unfortunate things happen, via injury or anything like that.
We connect dots all the time, and it's impossible because it's a week-to-week sport. But the fact that Ohio State is a 30-point favorite on the road against a team that took Michigan to the wire should get people feeling pretty good
about the Michigan game.
Yeah, and I know that's a whole separate beast.
I'm not going to play that game again this year.
This is a live feed of Ryan Day's weekly press conference, sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Able to get a big lead in games over these next few weeks. I know you got to get there first, but I'm curious how you're going to handle Julian, because I'm sure you want to get him his number so he can stay in the Heisman race, or maybe at the top of the Heisman race. We probably don't want to leave him in there too long to risk injury. You probably want to get Lincoln some reps. How do you plan on navigating that if you're able to get a big lead in the second half?
Just win the game. I mean, that's it. We got to get better. We got to win the game. If individual honors show up at the end of the season, they do, but that's not the number one goal, and that's part of the unselfishness of all of this. And I've mentioned this before, and it's the same thing right now. Like our goal has to be about winning as a team, and when we do, as you can see, we've won games. Things like this, guys start getting attention, which is well deserved. But we have to make sure we stay focused on what matters, and that's winning games. So we'll do what's best for the team at that moment. But this is all about getting the first down and focusing on Purdue on the road, and that's it. And so I think anytime we get focused on anything other than that, it becomes a distraction. And so we can't do that, and we have to continue to work to play our best game and master our process. And so that'll be my message to the guys.
Ryan, with James in the second half, looked like he kind of had a spark there in the run game. Showed some emotion there afterward. Can one run or that kind of momentum do something for a guy that's maybe not got the traction that he's wanted to this year?
I hope so. Yeah, I saw what you saw. I saw somebody who has been practicing better and had a good run, broke a couple tackles, came up, showed some energy. So I'm hoping that can carry over into this week, and we can keep building on that because we certainly need it.
Right, I know it's obviously in the middle of the season, there's a lot of things going on. Do you have a chance ever to sit back and actually evaluate what Julian has done through these first 8 games and how different you spend a lot of time in the summer talking about assumptions and not making them, but it's natural to do that. Has it surprised you what you're getting out of him to this point, or is it just like you thought it was there and now it is? I mean, it seems like he's just changed the way that everyone around the country is seeing him in the short order.
Sure. I think there's a few things. I think the first thing is, we all have to avoid, trying to, like you said, sit back and try to evaluate anything other than all right, what do we need to get better at? What's going well? Now, that being said, I think the first thing is, he's got a bunch of guys around him that, he needs to make routine plays routinely, and then he needs to obviously play well situationally. He's done that up to this point. He's made some tremendous throws and made good decisions and taken care of the football. So he's put himself in a situation to allow us to reach our goals if he continues to play the way he's playing and then continue to improve, because as we know, the challenges are going to keep getting bigger and bigger. But I think it's clear to see that he is now playing at a level that we feel like we can reach our goals with, and so that's obviously exciting for everybody and builds confidence around the entire offense. But to say, what have we accomplished? We haven't accomplished anything. We just, we're in the middle of the season and got a lot of football ahead of us.
Where's the growth for him from here? Like, what you talk about, everybody needs to improve. What is he?
Well, it just can't be a play or two or, a half a season. It's got to be consistent, and so you look at, quarterbacks in college, you look at quarterbacks in the NFL, they can have a good game, a good half a season, a good season, but can they continually do it over time as teams start to look at, your strengths, your weaknesses, and all those types of things, and then, obviously play big in big moments. So he's just getting started, which is very exciting for all of us, as you know. I mean, if you're an offensive player right now, I mean, to know that Julian's back there with the ball coming out of his hands quickly and the confidence and decision making, it's obviously exciting to be around that. Not only for right now, but into the future. And he's handled that well and produced it at a high level up to this point. But he knows, again, this is about accomplishing goals as a team, and he would tell you the same thing.
Ryan, Luke and Tegra both left the game on the final drive. It looked like Josh Padilla left the game early too. Just what's the status of those guys going this week?
I won't specifically mention all three of them, but I do think at least two of the three they'll be practicing today. One of them you'll have to see as the week goes on how they do, but we should be at full steam ahead.
Right here, Dr. Barrett. Coach, you've talked about how you feel the season starts in November. The first playoff ranking comes out tonight. Just the body of work you've done, what your expectations are for tonight?
I mean, my expectation is I hope that none of our team or anybody really pays attention to it, because it doesn't matter. It's good for the fans. I think it's great for college football to be talking about it, but nothing matters if we don't continue to win. So I expect us all to be looking at the end of the season. Well, I guess we got to look at it right before they make the playoff bids and figure out who's playing each other. So I guess we got to look at it then. But that and at the end of the year, the only two times that matter to me. So we'll just kind of focus on Purdue.
Does it matter where you're ranked?
Does not matter at all. Just keep winning, man. That's it.
It felt like from the outside that Tegra responded well to the challenge, the competition in the last couple of weeks, and he did the same thing during the playoff run. Is there something about coaching him or motivating him that is just a little different?
Well, everybody's different, and you have to try to figure out ways to put guys in a situation to be successful and find ways to motivate guys and press the right buttons. That's the job of a coach, to help them do things they can't do on their own, see things they can't see on their own, hear things they can't hear on their own. I mean, that's what we have to do. So we have to always press every button we possibly can to motivate guys. But again, was it all perfect? No. But was it better? Yes. And so he's getting to the point in his career where he's played a lot of football too. So he has to bring a certain level of maturity and preparation to the table, and self-correct on his own and bring self-motivation. But it's our job to make sure we're doing that for him. And as we all know, it's about consistency with Tegra because we know we can do it.
You guys had the bye week right before Penn State. You guys brought in the band. Traditionally we see that in the last week of the regular season. I guess, is that something you guys talked about in the offseason, changes to how you approach that week? Like, what went into that decision?
Just trying to make the last week of the regular season as normal as possible. That was it. And certainly we appreciate the band and everything they do. And so it's just in an effort to make sure we can keep things as consistent as we possibly can, because that's really what the focus is. And that's the same thing this week. It's the process of coming in after the game on the Sunday, identifying the issues, calling out the champions, recognizing those, enhancing the things we're doing well, fixing those things, and having a great week of practice and sticking with our routine, because it's our routine that will allow us to play well down the stretch. And so we're just going to do everything we can to keep that as normal as possible.
Yeah. Offensive line, I think the under pressure rate for Julian in this game was 42%. That's for Pro Football Focus. I know you have different numbers, but what was your evaluation of the pass protection in this game? And maybe they cleaned some things up in the second half, but what needs to improve?
Yeah, I think there was, when you go against a good defensive line like they have, you know that you got to bring it every play. And I thought there was some plays where Julian was really clean back there, some longer developing routes, especially in the second half, where he's able to step into the throw. I know the one in particular to Carnell coming out of halftime. I think the second play of the second half, beautiful pocket, able to step in, deliver the ball. Then there was the 3rd down and 9 where we had instant penetration, and then Julian had to make a play with his legs. There were a couple others like that were too leaky. So when you're going against good players, that's the challenge, is that we have to play with unbelievable technique, and that's about grading out a champion. So there are some things that were good enough to win the game, but good enough for us to go, win every game. I don't know. We'll have to keep working at it, but that's the goal.
Right. You talked a lot last year about Will Howard's size and how that helped him in the pocket, feeling things, seeing things. Julian seems to do that very well too, despite not being 6'4" and 230 pounds. Like, how does he do it? I guess one, do you think he's good at it, and two, how does he go about doing it when he is, not the biggest quarterback in the world?
Well, it starts with the line. They have to do their job, because if that doesn't happen, it doesn't work. And I thought Julian played bigger the last couple of weeks. So what does that mean, playing bigger? Well, part of it's your posture, how you stand in the pocket. But for him, I think he sees the coverage. He can feel the rush, which is not something that you can teach. He just has that feel, and has a good feel and timing of when the ball needs to come out of his hands. But I think the receivers understand too that they're running routes against the defensive line, and that's a big part of the timing and the spacing that comes with the game. And so we try to match up the drops and the play actions with the protection. And the firmer the protection can be, the better he can step into his passes. But then that has to marry up with the timing of the route as well, and that's all the work that gets put in. So that's why we say it takes everybody. But for Julian in particular, I think he's playing with better posture. He's feeling more comfortable with the trees around him, is what I call it. And his elbow is getting high. He did get the ball tipped there that Jeremiah bailed him on. But those are the things that we're talking about, is being able to see over the offensive line and playing big. I think he's been doing that, and he's going to continue to work on it.
Yeah, Ryan, for whatever reason, Ohio State has a losing record over the last 20 years. It's this weird anomaly, and I understand this team is far different than years past. You're 1-0 there, but is there anything about the Ross-Ade Stadium experience that you can point to where good teams have struggled there?
I mean, I was part of the 18 team, so I know what that was like, and they have a lot of pride in that program. I think Barry Odom is a very, very good coach. These guys are well coached, and he is a good man and a good football coach. And I know he's got a good staff there. So put the film on and watch him play last week, and so we know we have to continue to get better this week. We have to bring it at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and I don't know if there's anything in particular other than Purdue is a program that has a lot of pride, and it's not going to be any different when we play these guys on Saturday.
Back to the poll that comes out tonight in terms of the level of curiosity, which obviously isn't much. Is that something you even watch? Do I think the guys is it on around here? Or is it just like whatever?
Whatever. Yeah. I mean, again, like, what does it matter if we don't win this Saturday, right? But I get it. It's great for the fans. It's good for the sport, which is great for all of us. So I'm glad they do it, but it's not something that really matters to us. The TVs are always on, so I'm sure somebody will be watching it, but it won't be me.
I get it, like chasing awards, right? And there's an understanding of it. There's things you need to accomplish this month before you can win any of those awards, but some of the stuff you're getting asked after the game, where the quarterback play was in 2017 versus where it is now. You've had multiple guys get to New York. Grand scheme conversation of, does it matter for you to be able to, whether it's this year, whatever year it is, be able to say one of your guys not only got to New York, but won the award? Is that ever does that matter at all? Or is it just
I mean, everything matters. Right. I say that to the players. I think everything matters. So, yeah. But I think that's just a byproduct of winning and having success as a group. So that's not the number one goal. But to say that winning a Heisman Trophy or getting recognized the Blitnikoff Award, which I think both Carnell and Jeremiah are going to be right in the mix for, all the things that All-American, and all those things do matter. But on the priority list of things, no, they're not very high. It's more about winning as a team, and when you win as a team, those things come. So. Just all things that, as we said before, cannot be distractions for us. We've got to stay focused on what matters.
Throughout your time as a coach, you have not really lost games where teams have come in and tried to pull an upset. It's something you see all across college football, but this program hasn't really dealt with that. How do you continue week in and week out to face these games where you're so heavy favorites and get up for them every week?
Well, we've got to keep the process. I know you probably get tired of hearing me say that, like I'm sure some of the guys in the program do, but I keep saying to them, don't get tired of me saying that, because that's really what matters. And I think I've said it before, in today's day and age, it's like, all right, what's new about this week? What's different about this week? We can try to find ways to make it a little bit fresh, but at the end of the day, we have to be okay with doing the same mundane, boring things over and over again. Chopping wood and carrying water. That's the book we read this summer. It's the same way. We're chopping wood every single day. We're carrying water every day, and that has to do with our routine. And the minute we try to tempt fate, we're going to get it. And we can't do that. We have to continue to fight. And so, we try to find different ways to talk about that. And, it's the little things that'll get you in the end. There was a reflection recently about, David versus Goliath, and what was the thing that got Goliath? It was the stone. It was a little thing. Goliath didn't wake up that day and think the stone was going to get him. It was. So, what are the things that we're doing on a daily basis that can get us? What are the issues? The issues are always there. We have to continue to address them. And if we think that we got it, we're going to get it. And that has to be the mindset every week. We have to get better. And we know where we're going. We have to build momentum and play really, really hard. And then sustain over and over again and be disciplined enough to do the same thing over and over again and continue to figure out ways to get better. So we'll keep doing that. But the players have to buy into it. The coaches have to buy into it. Everybody in the building has to buy into it. That's the key. It's one thing for a coach to say it. It's another thing for these guys to do it. And the credit goes to the players. That's where the credit goes. So I can say this over and over again, but there's a lot of coaches in the country that probably say the same thing over and over again. It comes down to the guys and then the leaders echoing that message in the locker room. All the things that we'll talk about again this week, and we got to keep getting better, and this is an important week for the Buckeyes.
Ryan, back to Julian. the deep balls that he throws, I mean, it looks easy. Obviously, it's not. He's talked about everything that has to happen around him to make that work. But what, as a guy who played the position, what makes a deep ball work from a quarterback perspective? Why is he maybe as good as anyone else?
Yeah, well, again, to say that, remember the first year we got in, JT was maybe struggling a little bit with the deep balls. We spent a lot of time working on that. And I remember that year, like, so much of the work that we put in was his footwork. Making sure that, it was 3 with a big hitch, and on that hitch, the ball was being thrown. The depth, the eye contact with the receivers, the location, the coaching, like, each throw has its own feel to it, and a big part of it's the receivers. How they're running the route, where they're going, how they track it, how they play the ball, right? But I don't think, it takes, a genius to figure out that the kid has tremendous anticipation and touch and a strong arm. And so when you stop the film and you see where the receiver is and then where the ball is completed, you're talking about probably 30 yards where he's got to pick a small area of the field where that ball has to land, and that's just something that you really can't teach. He's got a great feel for it. It's called spatial awareness. Understanding how a receiver is going to run his route, and then being on the same page. Now it takes time. You don't just like wake up and do it. I mean, a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of preparation, and that's another thing that I talk to our guys about. Like, I think sometimes people just think we go out and play and the Buckeyes are just going to win a game. It doesn't work that way. The amount of work that gets put in on a week-to-week basis to go put that on the field, to be a competitive excellence, you got one chance to get that throw right against that single coverage. And if you don't, who knows what happens? And that's what you have to realize. And if you think it's just going to happen and we're going to show up and just win games, that ain't happening either. So we have to continue to practice really, really well. That's the coach's job, to put the plays in to give these guys a chance to be successful, and find the right plays that fit the defense that we're seeing, and then we go play from there and continue to stay focused. So, long-winded answer, but hopefully that gives you a little idea of what goes into just some of this stuff. But at the end of the day, he has a tremendous innate talent to throw a deep ball.
I guess along with that, Bill Landis earlier in the week pointed out on Twitter that you can be heard yelling "got him" on one of those deep shots. How often are you yelling that? How often are you right? How often are you wrong? And just how early can you see it? And then when your quarterback sees it at the same time, how good does that feel?
Well, that one in particular, we hadn't practiced all week. We put that in at halftime. So I give the players a lot of credit for being able to run a play that we hadn't practiced. I mean, that play in that formation probably ever. But we felt like, based on what we were seeing, that we were going to do it. It was a concept that we work in preseason, we work in the spring, and we felt like there was a look that we were getting that we felt we could take advantage of, and so we decided to put that in at halftime and called it the second play of the second half. And when we got kind of what we wanted pre-snap, we knew what was going on, and so. Yeah, it was. You can drop a million plays, but they have to go put it on the field. And Carnell ran a tremendous route, stuck him, and you could see the angle. And job well done. But yeah, I mean that is the fun part of coaching. When you kind of put something together and it goes exactly the way you thought it would go. Really, the first down play was the same way. We caught man coverage. I thought the tight ends did a nice job of going out in the 9, inserting in, selling the run, and then that was a gain of 14. Against the right look. Second play, we got the look we wanted, and we hit it, and that was just like one of those things where you get the right play. It doesn't always work that way. And so we talk a lot of times to the quarterback is, when it's right, we got to make it. When it isn't, you got to make the quarterback, or you got to make the coaches look right, because it doesn't always work that way. You got to manage the play. That one, it all worked out the right way, but you got to credit, Julian. Protection was great in putting a play on the field that we hadn't practiced.
How often does that happen? You just drop something in half?
A few times a year probably. Usually the things that we're running are plays that we've practiced, hundreds of times during the week and walk through. But every once in a while, if you're seeing something, you have to adjust and be aggressive with it, and give Brian credit for calling it, and the players for executing it.
Ryan, in regards to moving the band up to the bye week, just logistical discussions like that, logistical decisions, how do they come about, and how much do you think logistical things like that through the course of a whole season can affect the football on Saturdays?
Well, I think it's important. I think everything matters, and we try to do everything we can to keep the routine. And I talk regularly with Ross. I talk regularly with Quinn, and we go through, and Mick Marotti certainly has a huge hand in all of this. And we just when it was last year, we were going through the playoffs for the first time. We're talking about how do those 10 days leading up to a game, how should we manage this? And then after the season, we go through each week and figure out that we're opening up with Texas. What does that need to look like in August? What does the week of look like? And then the bye weeks, and you go through the season. And we have a lot of give and take there, and we try to do what we can, and if it's working, we keep it going. If it isn't, we try to tweak it to make it better. And that's kind of year to year, and that's the same thing with that decision.
What's the balance for a coach of trying to make every game, every week feel the same, stay to your routine, or acknowledging, leaning in at times to a big game, an important game, a rivalry game, that this is different?
Well, if we have too many things in a week that are different, then it gets you out of your routine. So we try to have certain things that don't change, and that's it, because the opponent's going to change, the scheme's going to change, the location's going to change, the weather's going to. There's a lot of things that change on a week-to-week basis. There's injuries, there's a lot of things. The scheme changes, and so. What we can do as coaches is keep us consistent, so the focus is on those things, not on, okay, why is this new, what's different, all the things that come with a week. And so that's really, what we try to do all the time. I think about the run we made last year. That's something that we tried to do and try to be as consistent as we can. Even with the Washington this year, we tried to make that as much like the playoff routine as possible for the guys that were here. And so as a coach, it's just one less thing for them to worry about. Even walking into a hotel and seeing the Ohio State things, on the walls, seeing, familiar faces, like all of those things, I think for a young player just puts them in their routine and allows them to focus on what matters. So we try to do that every year. The things that are going well, we try to get better. The things that don't work, we try to get them fixed, and then evaluate them again.
It's been a few years since you actually had a freshman get starts at running back for Bo. What has allowed him to have that role going into November? And when did you kind of realize he was going to handle that for a freshman?
I think he's been consistent. He practices, and he's been able to handle the workload mentally and emotionally. So that's been great. I think he's got a group of guys around him that can take some of the workload off of him, which has been great, especially for a young player. But now, we really need him to play his best football here down the stretch, and the whole room really. But he has shown consistency, and the most important thing is taking care of the ball.
You've had elite quarterback play since you've gotten here. I think about C.J. Stroud's accuracy. Is there something that Julian does better than any of them, even maybe C.J., in terms of accuracy, touch, vision, feeling the progression, whatever it might be?
No, you're going to get me in trouble with CJ if you start making me do that. Yeah, I know it's fine for you. No, I think it's hard to compare, quarterbacks like that. But when you see Julian, you see the decision making, and his mind works quick. The ball comes out quick, and the accuracy is on point. So, that's what these the first half of the season or whatever has been like for him, and we'll see. We're still getting started on this, but I think it excites everybody when the ball doesn't touch the ground in practice and the ball just comes out on time, and like everyone just feels efficient in what they're doing, and he has to continue to put the work in with Billy in the classroom, so that when he comes out and there's run checks and there's protection checks, that he's on that and he's running the offense at a high level. Because when he is, it allows us to execute, and that's what we're looking for in offense. Like, we have to be able to execute efficiently for a whole game, and that's it. And that's what we're chasing, and that's one of the things that we're emphasizing today to make sure in practice today, like everything is efficient, and you can't have like a bad play. You can't. you're not allowed to have a bad play, like what we're trying to do. And so that's everybody, but certainly Julian's the one running it.
Admittedly, in the Texas game, you were very conservative with him, kind of training wheels on. When was it that you saw, I can take those off, he can just go now?
In the first game, I mean, in that moment, that was a big moment. I think we all, going into it, I think people said it was the biggest opener in the history of college football. Like, the lead up, as we know, and it wasn't just a week lead up, it was like a month lead up. He wasn't fazed, made good decisions, threw that big touchdown pass to Carnell. And when he came off the field, to me, he was communicating what he saw well, without that look in his eye like, I don't know. And I said to myself, I think we may have something here. Now, he had to continue to do it and all those things, but he had shown glimpses in practice, good and bad, but we obviously saw the ability. But then when you get put in that environment, you're never quite too sure how it's going to look. And that was a great start.
Ryan, it appeared to me that Max had a little bit big blocking on Saturday. Max player.
Yeah.
It's how it looked to you, and I guess how have you seen him grow in that area as he's gotten more comfortable with you? Talk about the physicality of being here.
Yeah, I think Max has a lot of talent. I think one of the best things for Max is being at Ohio State. He's been challenged every day, and because of that, he's becoming a better football player. He's the tight end position is a developmental position, and Max is somebody that wants to be able to do everything. He wants to be able to block like an offensive lineman, run around like a receiver, and protect like a running back. And that's not easy to do, and it takes time, it takes development. When you look at the tight ends in the NFL, like they come from all different backgrounds and stories, and I think Max is another example of that. And so he's getting better each week, and I think his best football is still ahead of him, which is exciting. And I agree. I think the tight ends probably had their best week of blocking as a group.
Coach, we haven't heard from Matt for a while. Just curious, how's he feeling about, what's he most happy about that's happening like on the field, schematically, players that maybe are performing better than maybe you expected? What are some of his feelings about everything that's going on?
You'll have to get his exact feelings, but my perspective is that sort of what we said before is that there's chemistry in the staff, there's chemistry with the players, but they got to go put it on the field, and I think they're bought in and they're putting in the work, they're putting in the effort, and I think coming off of this last game, the offense put the defense in a tough spot, and so there's 14 points in the first half, and that's not something we're used to, and I think that's an area where we all, I wouldn't say holding our breath, but wanted to see how we would respond to that. There was no panic, and that's a good sign of a mature team. Hey, here's the things we got to get done. The locker room was excellent, because I asked, I don't really get a chance to see everybody during the locker room. We're kind of making some adjustments on offense, and then getting on the iPad, watching some of the things that happened, and then I got a chance to address the group for about a minute before we get back on the field, and the position coaches are working with each group. And the feedback was that nobody panicked at halftime, and then they came out and played really, really well in the second half, and was able to make the adjustments. And so I think those are the things that are encouraging for Matt, just being around this group of guys and their maturity level.
I got many, but I'll just ask one. With Julian, was there any bad habit y'all had to fix? You see the young guys coming up, you watch Saturday nights, and guys are whipping it like Patrick Mahomes and things like that, off platform. He seems to be on platform pretty consistently and stuff. And was there anything y'all had to fix about him, and are you impressed by that aspect of his game?
Well, there's a lot of things we didn't have to fix, but there were some things that we certainly fixed. Well, not fixed, but addressed, that we wanted, that we felt like really help him. You get your power from the ground up, and I won't get into all the specifics of that, but and to your point, there was something I remember. I'll tell the story real quick. On social media, it was like during the summer, he might have gone home or whatever, and he was like throwing these passes where like he was running to the left, stopping, and like throwing across his body like 60 yards. And I said to him, if I ever see that again, you're not allowed to go back to California. I said, we don't throw the ball like that around here. But he naturally, though, can throw the ball off a platform. Like you saw the throw to Bennett Christian like that. That was a twitchy throw. He was He was out of there. He was athletic. He was sprinting. He was running to the sideline. He put that ball like in the right spot. You look at the Brandon Innes throw on the scramble the week before. I mean, he's on the move. That thing is on the money. So, he has that ability to move and make throws on the move, which I think is a unique special talent as well. But no, I mean, he's playing bigger. His feet are a big part of all of this, and he's bought into it. I think that's the best part of it, and you're seeing him play with confidence.
Yeah, time for one more.
Yes, of course, Tim.
Do you this is almost like getting, I don't know if brag about yourself or whatever, but do you feel like you were named a head coach for the first time? It's looking back now at almost the right time, meaning 2019, but then 20 you had to deal with the pandemic. 21, NIL, transfer portal, and everything else. In other words, you've grown up. This is normal for you. Right. You feel like you're having a little bit of an advantage, even though I would think you're riding on a wagon, you're pulling parts, throwing parts, all the time. Stuff. Do you feel like an advantage there of having grown up as a head coach in this time?
Well, I remember talking to Jerry Emig just, 18, 19, 20, and I remember saying, man, this is just crazy. And I stopped saying this is crazy. I just said, this is the job. Yeah. And that's exactly what it is, because every year it just changes so much, and you have to be willing to adapt. And, I said it's kind of like herding cats sometimes, and you have to multitask. And sometimes for somebody who's very task-oriented, you have to feel comfortable, like maybe not getting every single little thing done, and you can work all day and feel like you did nothing, all day from early in the morning till late at night, and you feel like you got nothing done, but you actually did. And I think that's the job of a football coach. Now when you're in season, it's obviously much more football-oriented, but just in general, there's just a lot going on, and you have to be comfortable with that. And it's not always easy to learn how to do, especially when you're very task-oriented and you want to focus on one little thing. But that's the job, and we all have to adapt and figure it out. So, but yeah, it's been 7 years of a lot of adaptation and making sure that, we're doing what's best for the university and making sure we're putting ourselves in the best position to be successful.
Thanks.
You've been listening to the Ryan Day Press Conference on The Fan.
Sponsored by The Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact The Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, there you go. Prediction was fairly decent that we were going to have a longer presser today. There were a myriad of topics. The under hit on the Purdue questions.
Yeah.
There was one question, I believe, about Purdue, unless I'm off. And it was about the fact that over the last, I don't know how many years you go back, that Purdue would actually have a winning record against them. And the whole Ross-Ade Stadium and the House of Horrors and
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore was the big game. I mean, he torched him.
He was a monster that day.
I felt like he wanted to go, where I go with this? I go like Norman Dale Hoosiers, where I feel like, because Maddie, you may have stepped out for a quick second, but he went into a David and Goliath lesson.
Oh.
He did. And it was like, and David put his hand in the bag and took out a stone and slung it. Like, I felt like he was going full Hoosiers. And then I was hoping that he would go, when they, what do you tell your guys about that? I was hoping he'd be like, don't pay attention to the world's largest drum or that fancy train or their ugly red brick buildings if we focus on what got us here. And I would think that at this point in time, by the way, he did answer kind of, I guess, telepathic my question about that you're going to be a massive favorite over the next 3 weeks and how do you stay sharp. And he did talk about, and I think he almost kind of took a mild, not offense at it, but it was an opportunity for him to say, this is not a show up and win team. We're not that team. Now, he may not truly believe that because he's going to have more talent than most. But he took it as an opportunity to say that it's not going to happen. We're not just going to show up and win.
Yeah, we're locked in.
And you show up, you practice hard, you find the right plays, you see what the defense is doing, and you stay focused. And nothing illustrated that more than at 17-14 against Penn State at halftime, where he felt like certainly they weren't clicking, and they did diagnose something at half. And when they came out on that first series, on 1st and 10, mind you, and they call that pass play, and he really actually had two Buckeyes running in the same space. Usually that's much more easily defended. And JJ, or was it Tate? Maybe, was that the Tate or the JJ play? The first, maybe it was Tate. And that's when he yelled, "Got him!" like in midstream. And he did say that we dialed that up on an adjustment, dialed it up, play in the dirt
On a
kind of
napkin?
deal.
Is that what they drew?
A cocktail napkin
in the locker room? That was pretty wild to hear him say that. Like that. Those are the things I love hearing. Just like, hey, this isn't even anything we've practiced. It's a look we got from the defense. I have trust in my quarterback and everybody else on offense to execute the play. So that was great to hear from me. But he's had a constant message all year. Even before the Texas game, it was just win the game. Because everybody was asking going into the Texas game, what about this? What about that? And he was just focused on all we care about is the result. And I like that it's been a constant message week in, week out. And what he's saying publicly, he's no doubt saying behind closed doors to his team. And I think you can feel that from this year's team is that they're not messing around with anybody, whether it's Texas, whether it's Washington, whether it's, teams down the line in Michigan and Indiana. I think we can all have confidence that their mental focus will be there. Obviously, the physical execution has to come along with that, but everything you hear from the coaches, from the leaders of this team all year has been a similar message, and I think that's a sign of a great team, is that this team isn't going to let their foot off the gas regardless of who's on the other sideline.
The talent alone should tell you that they can run a play and execute it that they've never practiced. That tells me a lot of the talent that they have, clearly, with the quarterback and the protection and the weapons they have, because that's the play that he called. We never practiced that. It's like something where the three of us are in the park, like, all right, Cole, you're going to fly, you're going to dig over the middle.
Slant for you,
yeah, right? Like, we never really practice it, but I know his height and his speed and my arm, and I think we can do it, and you can take the linebacker out. Like, I think we know we can do it.
It's like flag football with the homies.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I used to, years ago, I used to play flag football in the winter with my friends.
Every
we
Sunday.
never practice. You go here, you go there, we're better than them, we're going to execute.
You drew it up.
Right.
Yeah. When we were playing Channel 4, I'll keep the names out of it.
Oh, please don't.
So,
cook somebody.
Well, I don't know. There's he's not here anymore. Neither one is working.
Okay, so you could really throw the names out.
That's why it's irrelevant. I'll withhold the names to protect the innocent. L.A. Law and Order, whichever one. And we had a guy on our team, at our station, our team, played Sunday flag football, or it wasn't even flag football. I called it two-hand shove. So it wasn't two-hand touch, and it wasn't tackle.
A little too spicy.
But you could, put your hands on a guy. You could move him out. And so we had a guy, they had a reporter, a sports guy, that one of our photographers just belted into a chain link fence. Just like the out of bounds of whatever school that we had to quote break into or onto their field on a Sunday.
Well done, Bax.
And no, it was not him. I don't think he was on the squad.
Shout out to Bax, man.
And we had some fights break out.
Okay.
It was Anchorman.
I love that.
It was a great deal.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Were you putting paws on people?
I was playing quarterback, so I didn't really have to put any paws on anybody. But I felt like that was the most fun post whatever structural athletic career, because
like
every Sunday we would show up and we would play whoever was from the other stations that wanted to play, and they had a team, and it was great.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I feel like that this team, the talent that this team has, he knows. Mm-hmm. It's just now making sure they respect the talent, that they don't feel that they can win on the old Herb Brooks, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. I actually think they do. Yeah. But to win a championship, he knows what it takes.
For sure. No doubt.
All right, we'll come back and we'll react a little more to the presser today and get into a little fool's paradise. The fantasy stash of the week. We'll give it to you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
It's BOGO week, so use your card for buy one, get one free deals on Kroger brand apple juice, Screamin' Sicilian pizza, and more participating items. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season with a Home for the Holidays raffle. And help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish Kids. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidays.columbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidays.columbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
November is an ideal month to plant trees in Ohio because the soil is still warm, which reduces the transplant stress. Plus, trees require less water in November than in the heat of the summer, allowing roots to grow in the cooler temperatures. When planting trees, keep these tips in mind. Select trees that are zone hardy for where you plan to plant. Avoid planting trees that produce slip hazards like fruits and nuts close to sidewalks. And don't plant large trees near or under utility lines. To learn more about the November tree planting, contact an ISA certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity, I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Who go to geteco.com.
Bobcat Enterprises has rebates and write-offs to give you a competitive edge in 2026. Through the end of the year, get up to $3,000 in cash rebates on all inventory. This year's tax deductions are bigger than ever, and you can apply to lease, finance, or directly purchase equipment. Spend it before the government gets it. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville, or see our full line of products at bobcatent.com today. Offer expires 12/31/25.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, you know, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Let's scratch that fantasy football itch. It's Rothman and Ice's Fool's Paradise.
Sponsored by Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, I thought about something during the break. There's no reason for me to withhold those names. Why did you shake your head?
Because Ice and I knew this last segment. Yeah. You're just catching on. So what?
I just didn't know.
What storytelling, that's all.
My boy Jim Grogan, one of the greatest, Newer Catholic.
Jim Grogan.
And no, he was a photographer.
He's Googling.
You would be able to Google. He's a very famous wrestling cameraman.
Nice. Okay.
And David Thompson was the sports reporter for Channel 4. They got belted into a chain link fence.
What was his reaction after that?
Not good.
Okay, yeah.
There was a fight.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long did the fight last?
I mean, it wasn't one of those where we all stood around like clapping, like keep it going.
Was it like a hockey fight? You go down to the ground, it's over type of deal. Everybody kind of comes in at that point.
I think there were some punches thrown.
Okay.
Oh.
There might have been some blood drawn.
So this wasn't just a benches clearing. This was a brawl.
Okay.
It was a two-man brawl. We didn't all get in on the fight. Yeah.
So nobody broke it up?
Not really.
You just sat and watched?
I mean, maybe we did
Just
towards
let
the end.
them
Anyway.
figure it out, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. When somebody taps out, the fight's over. Like we used to, like my friends and I, like their brothers, when there was a little situation that popped off that got physical, we give everybody 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds, and then we're coming in to break this up.
Well, that's very hockey.
If it gets to that point,
that's
30
kind of a
seconds on
long
the clock.
time.
It is. You can do some damage in 30 seconds.
When you're in the middle of it, that probably feels like forever.
It does, right? It does.
All right, we did not. All right, before we get to the breaking NFL trade news, and there is big. The stash that I was looking at in fantasy, I want to get your guys' feeling on this, is a couple of receivers. Jaden Reed of the Packers, and I know they're garbage right now, but he's eligible to come back.
Okay.
And then I'm not saying that this is a guy you do a lot with. You'd have to have room. But where are we on Brandon Ayuk now?
He's been out of
His
sight, out of
window isn't
mind.
open yet, and the Niners have a bye in Week 14. But if you had stash potential or you had an IR, then he would be the guy. So those are the two that jumped out to me.
I like that.
Let's update the standings real fast. By the way, Maddie got a fractional victory this week.
Unbelievable.
And I mean
less than 1 point.
These are the beauties. Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yeah. These are the beauties. I'll give you what it has. Maybe a stat adjustment gives you the law. You better not get a stat adjustment.
No, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't do that.
Maddie won. By the way, it was a real pillow fight.
I'm about to say, we're about to say 70?
74.72 to 74.22.
Yeah. What Coach Day say today?
Won by half a point.
Just win the game.
Are you in a half PPR league?
We are.
Yeah.
So that's one catch.
You know what? Did he have Ferguson?
He did.
Ferguson had to climb the ladder near the goal line or the fumble.
Or I lose.
Yeah, there it is.
Or I lose.
And I lost this week, I think, on the DJ Moore end-around touchdown against the Bengals where he fumbled it, and it looked like it was going to be a touchback. So no touchdown and a fumble turns into a touchdown,
play.
And I lose.
Insane play right there. Before we get to the breaking news in the NFL.
I want to give you the standings, though.
Oh, go ahead.
You're fourth, I'm fifth.
Okay, so
There we are.
Where we need to be. Where's
Need
CB
to be
at,
top
our former
6.
producer? Where's he at? He's been
Three.
peacocking around here. Okay,
3.
that's why. I think some waiver wire names to monitor real quick. Devin Singletary for the Giants at running back. Watch out for Terrell Jennings, running back for the Patriots, and how those carries are getting split up as
Ramondre
well.
is out.
That's the key.
Only if.
That is the key there. So Devin Singletary, Terrell Jennings for the Patriots, a couple running backs to monitor on the waiver
He's
wire.
a goal line guy, too.
Yeah.
So that's big. All right, Maddie, you want to give him the breaking news?
So we got some breaking news in the NFL. Trade deadline is today for the folks that don't know. Everybody can do their business before 4 o'clock. The Indianapolis Colts have been a fun story this year until TLC Steelers put it on them. They said, you know what, we got to add a little bit more. So the Colts have traded for former Cincinnati Bearcat Sauce Gardner. So he comes into Indy. Indy AR ships 2 first-round picks to the New York Jets for Sauce Gardner. He just got an extension.
Just signed a big extension.
4 years, $124 million. This is where my mind goes. There's definitely some sticker shock there with the 2 first-round picks. But I think they're thinking...
You've never heard that phrase?
No, I've heard it, but I like it.
In the division that they're in, AR?
Yeah.
I think it's, hey, we got to deal with C.J. Stroud. We got to deal with Trevor Lawrence for years to come, and potentially Cam Ward if he turns into a dude. So I think that's the outlook, and I think that's maybe why they would be on board with giving up 2 first-round picks. I know there's going to be some spicy reactions to the compensation they gave up.
Well, the other thing is they're good, and they haven't been this good in a while, and I think they feel something here, and I think they feel that he's certainly a difference maker.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you why nobody knows anything. Because I was reading on, Jets analysis about whether they were going to just wholesale the whole team. Here's the thought they gave, or one analyst gave, on Sauce and Garrett Wilson. And Garrett's obviously still there. He writes, I've seen some analysts suggesting the Jets could trade these guys, Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. Anybody saying this shouldn't be taken seriously as an analyst. Guess that ruins your credibility.
Listen, like I always say, we are all Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. We know nothing. We know nothing. I think part of this, too, AR, is I mentioned the quarterbacks in that division. It's also, we got Nico Collins in this thing we got to deal with twice a year. We got Brian Thomas Jr. twice a year we got to deal with. And so you got some good wide receivers, and now you have one of the premier shutdown corners to line up against some big dogs, twice a year for you. I like it. I see the vision.
I got one more for you if you want it.
Yeah.
Saints are sending Rashid Shaheed to Seattle.
Okay. So a little pop at wide receiver opposite JSN. Yeah. Cooper Kupp's been hit or miss this year with his availability and productivity. So, yeah, I like that. I see the vision there with what they're doing with Shaheed, and JSN's having an amazing season.
And why shouldn't he be happy? Because he had Tyler Shuck throwing him, and he was fine. I mean, it was. But,
that's out of house as the penthouse. You kidding me?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
100%. Yeah, no doubt.
They took a weapon away from a young quarterback.
Right.
They would need it. Here's the rest. By the way, here's the rest of that Jets analysis real fast. The team just signed him to the big extension. The team wants them here. Both players have been vocal that they want to be here. I guess if your team is desperate for help at wide receiver or cornerback, you can dream. Just don't get your hopes up. Well, the Colts dreamt up 2 first-rounders. And I bet the guys that cover this team that wrote that had no reason to believe that somebody would offer up those 2 wins for him, even though he's 25.
We've seen 2 defenders this year go for 2 first-round picks. One of them a pass rusher, Micah Parsons. Another player came along with that going back to to Dallas, and Kenny Clark, and now this situation. And I think the age is what factors into this. You mentioned Sauce's age, Micah's age. You're getting these guys in their primes, and obviously there's some good ball left. So I understand what they're doing here. And look, the Colts have been the story of the NFL season, and they're continuing to hit the gas pedal. I respect it.
I'm going to watch their odds today, see if that moves the needle at all. We'll come back, top of the hour, Fan Sports Update, and then the college football playoff rankings will be revealed for the first time tonight. So let the month-long argument begin. We'll give you that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale with same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and I'm a big believer in saying thank you when something actually works. So thank you, Awaken 180. And they're actually saying thank you back right here in Ohio with $500 off every new program through Thanksgiving. I started around this time last year, dropped 65 pounds for the holidays, and 15 more in free maintenance. Awaken 180 works, and now's the time to do it with $500 off. Thank your new self when you're 30 or 80 pounds lighter with the medication-free solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good days, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. The first college football playoff committee rankings released tonight. Timmy Hull and Tyvis Powell will react on the fans' YouTube channel after at 8. The CFP, ESPN, and TNT announced the opening CFP first-round game will start December 19th at 8 on ABC and ESPN. College hoops, Ohio State bested IU Indy 118-102 in Monday's season opener. Santa Clara transfer Christoph Tilly poured in a career-high 28 points. Buckeyes host Purdue Fort Wayne Friday at 6:30. NFL trade deadline ends today at 4 per NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Raiders wideout Jacoby Myers was traded to the Jaguars for 4th and 6th round picks. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Get a holiday loan from BMI Federal Credit Union and choose a loan amount from $1,000 to $5,000. BMIFCU.org/holiday loan. Coming up on Rothman and Ice, Tyvis Powell joins the show at 1:30 right here on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Matty promises he'll continue to do the show even if he wins the lottery. If only we believed him. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Hour number 2, we'll keep our eye on the NFL trade deadline. The blockbuster just happening with the Colts sending 2 first-rounders to the Jets for Sauce Gardner. They know what he is. It's a little rich. I don't know if I could do it if I was the Colts, knowing that you don't have a true lock at quarterback that you know will take you through the AFC title game. Like, I feel like that's the tough part for me if I'm the Colts. I admire it. I admire they're going all in. Well, not all in because they're getting Sauce for, it's not a rental. They're going to get him for
just
a lot of his time.
For the next few years, right.
So they know what he is. Mm-hmm. And first-round picks sound great when you don't know who they are and you don't know whether that guy's going to pan out. They just sound good. So they spent 2 first-round picks on a very, very, very good player.
And the Colts probably believe that what they're doing this year, this isn't a flash in the pan. So the picks that we're giving the Jets, those are probably going to be in their mind in early 20s or below that. So they probably have that confidence in how Shefty just tweeting this as well. It looks like wide receiver A.D. Mitchell is going to go to the Jets. So the Jets are going to get 2 first-round picks from the Colts and a wide receiver. So this is similar to what Dallas got, right? They got 2 first-round picks and a player. The Jets are getting 2 first-round picks and a player as well. And so I think the formula for the Colts and what they want to be is we're going to run the heck out of the ball with Jonathan Taylor and play really good defense. That's worked for the most part until they faced the Steelers this past weekend. And when Jonathan Taylor couldn't have the day that he's been having this season, then that kind of shines a light on Daniel Jones, and you're asking him to do too much, and you saw how that unfolded this past weekend. And so I see the structure of this team. It's a pretty good roster what they have going on. Like when you look at their playmakers at receiver, the running back, drafting Tyler Warren, some of the young pieces they have on defense right now, and now you add Sauce Gardner to the mix. Like if they didn't have Daniel Jones at quarterback and this was another quarterback I think everybody really respected, I think the Colts would be looking a lot scarier in the eyes.
Yes.
I
mean, would you spend 2 firsts on a premier cornerback? in this NFL.
At a premier position, too.
In the AFC, where the quarterbacks you're going up against to get to the promised land of a Super Bowl, it'll be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow, maybe, when he comes back. But, this is not – I think it's – here's all the Colts. The Colts can sell it to their fans because anytime your team gets better, you love it.
Yeah.
Like if you're a fan. Like, right, you're a little worried about the future of giving those picks away, but you're like, wow, this season's so great. You're riding this high, and you can sell that to your fans. The other way you can sell it to your fans is this. We got a guy that everybody said was untouchable. We got him. Other people called for him. We got him. And so they can sell that because most people thought that Sauce Gardner was not going to be traded. That the extension he signed, the extension that Garrett Wilson, that those were the two untouchables. I just read you, Jets, all these people that cover the team were like, hey, dream on. They're not going to be, they'll be in green and white for a while.
The name to watch out for has been Breece Hall, and they still may move him, but that was the name that a lot of people were talking about out there in the Big Apple, that he could be a Jet, no longer a Jet after today. So these are the positions, or one of the positions that's really, really premier in the NFL. It's corner, it's pass rusher, it's your tackles, and your quarterback and your wide receiver. Like, those are the positions right now that are getting paid top dollar. And so I love your point about even outside of the conference, they probably feel like with the roster we have, we ain't going anywhere in the AFC. And so we're going to continue to build upon this. And when we see some of the elites in the postseason, the regular season, whatever it is, we feel like we've got a defense that can throw some resistance at those guys.
I don't think the Jets are going to be offered some, like, I'm trying to think of the team that the missing piece of their puzzle this year is running back. Like, that they would have to have Breece Hall, that he would be the piece.
To me, it's the Chiefs. Chiefs. They're getting Josh Simmons back. He was away from the team for a little bit, so it sounds like he'll be back for them at left tackle. But I think if you could get a running back in that offense that defenses have to respect, because I don't know if defenses are respecting their backs right now, and they feel like they got to tilt downhill a little bit to stop the run game, then you're talking about some spooky stuff happening on the outside with Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. So that's the team for me. If he lands there, I think that's a big-time impact move for Kansas City.
And I think he's got value in that offense. Like, I don't look at Breece Hall as a guy you're just going to saddle up like Derrick Henry and say, take us where we need to go. He's just not that guy anymore. Like, I don't know if he was ever a true top 5 back that could carry a team. I mean, he was so good when he first came out, but he's an outside run, Kansas City type of player, touches in space. Like, I think that works. There's plenty of value. What I don't know is whether Kansas City would offer them a watered-down version of the CMC deal. And I'd have to go back and see what they got back for him in that trade. Do you remember? Was it 2022?
From Carolina to San Francisco?
Yeah, what San Francisco offered Carolina.
My mind's saying there was a one in there? I don't think. Man, a couple twos?
Draft picks, second rounder, third rounder, fourth rounder, fifth rounder.
Okay.
So 2, 3, 4, and 5 is what they gave up?
Yeah.
By the way, I think that's the trade. If you're the Jets. The people know the Jets are kind of desperate, and they'll probably take less. The other thing you got to think about if you're New York, you're drafting a QB next year.
Now you are.
Again.
Yeah, because the first-round picks, real quick, just want to mention this for Sauce, 26 and 27. Those are the picks going from Indy to New York. Their first-round picks they gave up, 2026 and 2027.
So here's the issue that I would have if you were GM in the Jets. Yes, you're acquiring picks. That helps. But your priority is going to be quarterback again.
Yeah.
And if I bring in a quarterback, presumably I'm going, unless I have a bridge quarterback that's going to take me to my rookie, I have to have some pieces to help him.
Garrett Wilson will be there.
Garrett and potentially a running back.
They drafted a second-round tight end in Mason Taylor from LSU. So there's a young guy in-house with Garrett that they think can be their future. But you're absolutely right, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do take a quarterback high in next year's draft, which it feels like they're going to do, that you see some young draft picks on offense as well in the same draft class, because that's where you are. And I think the Jets are realizing we're not close right now to Buffalo and New England in our division. So we got to go the other way. I wonder if there's another team in their division thinking the same thing in the Miami Dolphins. I won't be surprised if they make some moves either today.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're the Jets, sending good skilled players out when you know you're drafting a quarterback high is a little bit of counterintuitive. Like, we got to help our quarterback. Like, we can't send everybody away, then draft a quarterback, unless we're going to sit that quarterback. Unless we don't think he'll be ready right away. We can just put some stuff around him. But that's why I don't know if Brees would be a guy. But if they get, and I'll say it again, if they get the CMC offer, if the Chiefs offer them that, I think they'd have to take it.
The Jets,
for Brees.
Yes. If I'm the Chiefs, I don't know if I want to give up that much because in my mind, he's not on the level of CMC. But I understand what you would want if you're the Jets, but I don't think I could give that up for Brees Hall. He's 24 years old. That's the other part that's attractive, too. The tread on the tires is probably, probably looks pretty good. But I think if I'm Kansas City, that's a little too spicy for me to give up. But I think he's a player they need.
Yeah, then I don't know where you'll send him. Then I think they're better off working out something long-term with Brees. Then I think you're better off keeping him.
Signing him to an extension?
Well, yeah, because if I'm going to draft a quarterback, I'd like my quarterback to have him.
Yeah, or we could, use our draft capital to get another running back later in next year's draft, too. You could do that as well. Because I don't know if you want to commit money to a running back,
I don't know what his contract demands are, right? I don't know if they're reasonable. Does he even want to stay after experiencing 4 years of losing? Like, I don't know.
They won out.
That's
right. Imagine there's a few guys in that
seems to be going around
that won out.
Right. And the fact that the Jets are so bad right now, I don't know where the culture is. I don't know if anybody would want to be on that sinking ship unless they got paid a lot to stay.
And my mind's going to how safe is Aaron Glenn now with this tear down?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we've seen some organizations move on from year one head coaches. It's not a commodity. It's not a thing we see all the time. But that wouldn't shock me either if they just tear everything down. Thank you, Cam Ward.
By the way, the other day I heard Traylon Burks, and that's all I thought of. I didn't hear it that way. I just heard it in a game, and that's all I thought of.
Traylon Burks.
Jets are 1-7 in the AFC East.
Beeswax.
Dolphins 2-7. Pats up top at 7-2, and the Bills are 6-2. And the Pats,
love it.
The Pats have that win over Buffalo right now on the road.
I like that Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts, said, "You know what?
Not for long.
We're going to why not?
He's going to get fired at some point.
What if this works?
Not this year, right?
What if they go? What if they go all the way? Right. They're having a damn good year.
Yeah.
What if they win the AFC? You're going to fire your GM?
No.
If he made this move and it helped you get to the Super Bowl?
It depends how the season ends. Obviously, no, not
yes,
if they
if they flunk out in the first
round. If the second half of the season bottoms out, so, it depends what's going on. But his approval rating was massively low with me for the past, 7 years.
He's paid up.
It doesn't take much.
I think he's safe.
Ward, Bynum, he's paid these guys.
Yeah, I think he's safe.
Mm-hmm. They got Kenny Moore on this high-end.
They paid Jonathan Taylor. Now that deal looks really, really good.
Oh, paying running backs, another red flag.
Oh, but I don't know, man. He just keeps getting better. I don't get it.
He's a monster, man.
He's unbelievable.
The dude's an absolute monster. And, that was, 2-3 years ago, AR, where we were talking about Jonathan Taylor and just the running back position as a whole and how it really felt like nobody around the league wanted to hand these guys extensions. And now you look at the deals like Derrick Henry got and Saquon Barkley got and Jonathan Taylor, and it's like, okay, now we're back on running backs.
The fact that they let Ballard do this, I think, is a vote of confidence.
I agree.
I can't believe they give up two first-round picks. In their minds, that they're thinking that those picks are 32 and 32.
I mean, if it doesn't work out, then you're right. They could say they went all in, they swung big, but they're doing it with a quarterback that everybody didn't think they could do it with.
Yeah.
I give them credit for this. This is small market. Let's go.
And also, these type of guys at this age with that talent don't come available very often, right? You got to draft and develop these type of guys. So to be able to get your hands on one of these guys, I can understand why when you feel like you're in your window, let's go get that dude and bring him to Indy.
I listen to FAN a lot. A lot of those guys just complain about Sauce Gardner not being a playmaker and being overrated.
That's fine. Look,
who knows?
Who knows, right? Who knows? You get him in a system now, and Lou Anarumo is probably loving life right now. Going from Cincinnati, with the way Cincinnati looks right now, to what's going on with Indy, and you wake up today at lunch, and not wake up at lunch, but you're at lunch today, and hope he's not sleeping in that long, and you get Sauce Gardner.
Wake up.
You wake up at lunch.
Maddie, when they wake up,
I like that phrase.
And they got their eggs and there are a couple of slabs of bacon.
And you wake up at lunch?
Here's the deal. And I'm just check this.
That was amazing.
Actually, that was one of my favorite segments ever because of Tim May and I knowing how big a slab is, and you just thinking it was just a couple slices. Do we have that clip?
A slab of what?
Bacon.
So you know,
Maddie, when he asked Tim May about the headline, he said, when they're Buckeye fans waking up and they got their eggs and their orange juice and a couple slabs of bacon, and I go, slabs?
I think that was last year.
Oh, I wish we could find that.
I have no idea what show it was.
TLC, can you can find anything?
Holy cow!
What's going on?
I'm looking at pictures of slabs of bacon.
All right, so you didn't know what it was either?
Well, I didn't. I would never describe bacon as a slab. But apparently it is real.
Well, you've heard of a slab of meat, right? Slab of beef.
I've just never referred to it as just a piece of bacon.
All right, here's the other deal, real quickly, to put a wrap on the Jets.
You have to go straight to the hospital if you eat 2 slabs of bacon.
That's right.
I think Joey Chestnut.
I don't think people on death row would choose. What's your final meal? Give me a couple slabs of bacon. Like, that sounds even a little too much. The Jets are in a race. Not with Tennessee, who's 1-8, because the Jets are 1-7.
Yeah.
They're fighting because Tennessee doesn't have to draft a quarterback. So think about that right now. They're unloading so they can make sure they finish first.
Yes.
In the lottery.
Shefty's saying this real quick. Jets now have 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. The race to the top next year is going to be interesting.
And they can help themselves this year by finishing last and having the top pick. We'll come back. The Bengals did make a move today. How impactful? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes. GLakesHyundai.com.
Hey, you know that chronic pain in your knees, hip, back, shoulders, whatever joint it might be, it can make life feel impossible. But at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough treatment that's giving patients relief. Some cases, even within 1 day. It's called stem wave therapy. This device has been used for over 20 years in Europe, and it's made its way to the United States. And there's a groundswell of demand for the treatments because the patients are getting real relief from acute pain, and they're spreading the word. Here is the most interesting detail. The device is both a diagnostic and therapeutic, helping Dr. Ray Tesner and the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and then trigger your body's own natural healing response. StemWave uses the same technology as lithotripsy, the sound waves that penetrate, spark blood flow, and more cellular activity. That's exactly what you need to promote healing and relief. Wondering if this is a good solution for you or your pain? QC Kinetics is making it easy. Your first treatment is only $49. So call for a consultation and ask about the $49 treatment right here at 380-208-4544.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, so you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, or player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet just $5. It's the only betting app I use. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Remember when sports used to be about calling up your favorite host and saying how stupid they are? Good news. We still do that. The Fan Call-In Show.
Hello. Sponsored by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino.
Sunday mornings at 8 on The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, but a little bit warmer. Daytime highs will get up right around 60 degrees with a lot less wind. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, becoming clear overnight with lows in the 40s. For Wednesday, warm and windy with plenty of sunshine. That'll boost those highs in the upper 60s to some spots right around 70 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best teams don't always win titles. Sounds like AR and Maddie bragging about their fantasy teams.
Hey, that's cheating.
This is Rothman and Ice.
Trade deadline day.
I love it.
We got Tyvis on at 1:30. And this isn't against Tyvis, but
what, the fact that he was walking around here shirtless yesterday?
Well, he was changing his clothes, not in the bathroom. Not the drawers, not the bottom half.
He was right behind
just
TLC's desk.
And when he was in mid-change, shirt off, Maddie went up and gave him a big hug.
Well, see, we did the dap up.
I know,
but it wasn't just the normal dap up. It was the dap up into the hug, and I wasn't anticipating that happening. But when I didn't finish the dap up, feel the dap up being complete, I had no choice but to go in for the hug.
The germaphobe allegations are false.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he just saw a bare-chested Tyvis and just decided, I'm going to go dap him up now and not wait till he gets his shirt on. I looked at Tyvis, I'm like, oh, man. What are you doing? Putting my shirt back on. Back on? What was it doing off?
I think he was doing, some TV with AK?
Yeah. It's like Costanza in the bathroom looking at some 3D art. But he was in the middle of the newsroom.
Just hanging out, man. Showing off the goodies.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, but I got something to ask him at 1:30 that's not football related.
Okay.
Because I think he's turned into kind of a pseudo mascot for something.
Oh.
And not his fault.
Okay.
But I'm interested. Just a tease.
Okay.
All right. Where are you on this Logan Wilson trade to the Cowboys? It's kind of you know what it is? It's kind of it's like I heard the Pittsburgh Steelers called Arizona to ask for Marvin Harrison.
Really?
And, yeah.
Before yesterday's game?
Knowing that they wouldn't get him, but because Michael Wilson, is he their other guy?
The playmaker for the Cardinals? Yeah.
All right. So this is what I think in fantasy football meets real football. Maddie knows that I would like to make a trade.
Yeah.
Okay, for a little help.
Yeah.
So what do? You ask for the unrealistic guy to get the guy you probably can get, but you regret not asking because what if they take it? So my feeling is that if Pittsburgh did call Arizona to try to see if Marvin Harrison was even available for any price, they knew they probably weren't getting him because they're not going to give up probably what it would take to get him.
Right.
But they could do that to get somebody to entertain the conversation. All right, you won't give me. How about Michael Wilson?
Yeah, we'll take him.
Like, I feel like this is part of how GMs think. I think this way in fantasy. I imagine in reality it works somewhat similar. And that you...
Hey,
that's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
I don't think it is.
That's amazing, AR.
I don't think it's that weird.
Oh, my goodness. That is one of my favorite lines you dropped all year outside of the Flacco development line. I mean, what you just said.
We got to find that.
Right there. That is one of your top
People were saying
lines.
that, you got to sit Flacco for a couple weeks to get him used to the offense.
What did you say? He's 40 years
Just
old.
handed him for a 40-year-old quarterback. What are you waiting for him to develop? Yeah, like people were saying, no, he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Oh, man.
Go deep, throw the ball. You can do that.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, yes, I'm not
This
saying
is how I manage my fantasy team. I imagine GMs do the same.
But you know what's funny, TLC, is there's
it's
so
not
many...
that far off. Like
outside of the financials. and the draft
I don't
picks.
mean it like apples to apples.
I get what you're saying.
What
though.
I mean is, if
It was a perfect ratio.
All right.
It was 80% serious, 20% show.
That's exactly
and it was
right.
the perfect
That's
ratio.
what our show is, I think. All right, so you're the Steeler fan.
Yeah.
What do you think? If they called up Arizona, you think that who is your GM again?
Omar Khan.
Yeah, that's right.
Omar.
You think he really thought he could pry Marvin Harrison out of Arizona? I think he was doing it to get into a
Probably.
conversation about Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, look, Marvin Harrison Jr., I think is fixed. So for all the goofy concerns about like him literally just dropping balls straight in his chest and face.
Wait a minute. That he was doing it on purpose?
No. In San Francisco. The game in San Francisco earlier in the year where he's dropping like easy touchdowns. He's not that type of player. Now, I don't know what was in his head that was stopping him from like having success, but that Seattle game, he regrouped. He had a great second half. He's also in year 2. I guess what? We're like halfway through year 2, and they got 5 years of club control. Like, what in the world would you be trading him for?
No, you're not giving up on that.
No.
All he needed, TLC, was his dad to call out the offense, and this is what you get. I mean, you saw his dad yesterday saying, you can quote me on this. I don't like this offense. And then his son goes out and gets 10 targets and catches a touchdown and almost, 100 yards. So it worked out.
So you have
for him,
Odell
AR.
Beckham Sr. 2.0?
Exactly. Worked out yesterday.
Incredibly talented. But the problem we do and fans do is you got him, you got the gold jacket on him before he's played it down. And his dad has one, so it just seemed obvious. And
he was amazing in college, right? And we've seen wide
Of
receivers get to the NFL and be good in their rookie year. It's one of those positions where you can be impactful right out of the gate.
But you did get Metcalf, and I'm not saying that was nothing. But you guys swung big and got Metcalf and got rid of Pickens and
extended him. I don't think you guys are going to make a move at receiver. I saw the move of MVS today, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I'm just saying they brought.
Hang on, Matty.
Here comes Nathaniel Hackett to be our QB coach.
So the reason why I'm saying this is because MVS. He's a Rodgers guy. They played together in Green Bay. And so the Steelers today, they did sign MVS to their practice squad. We'll see if they make another move at receiver.
Aaron and friends.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we're at, where it's Aaron and friends. Aaron feels like, hey, we got a guy that I have good chemistry with. He can hit the ground running within this offense, and that's probably all they feel like they need.
Here, the NFL salary floor requires teams to spend at least 90% of the salary cap over a 4-year period. So we got to pay somebody. So, yeah, we got DK Metcalf and Flotsam and Jetsam around him.
The weird part about you guys is I don't even view you as one piece away.
No.
Because your quarterback is a 1 year. He's not.
And we outlined it yesterday. It was like, if we did a power rankings of the top 5 players on the Pittsburgh Steelers, first of all, Chris Boswell is like somewhere in the top 2. Which is not good. But how in the world would we, like, okay, Jalen Ramsey's been pretty good this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's been like the only player in the secondary who's been good. Where do we go from there?
TJ.
DK.
Yeah. All right. You skipped over TJ Watt.
Yeah, well, I know.
You
but
said best players on the Steelers.
Yes, but I'm also hesitant with him to just like say, oh, TJ, because we also have to like attach the condition that TJ Watt, and although he had a good Sunday, a very good Sunday against the Colts, just saying his name, he hasn't been as productive as like what his name has built over the past like 8 years. So I would like to just add that clause.
He's still a top 5 guy in the roster right now.
But we still got to round out 4 and 5. Cam Hayward can, but like the
How's
Steelers
Matty's boy, Patrick Queen? He's had a pretty good year. hasn't he?
Fine, I guess. Whatever.
I think what you're getting at is there's not a lot of guys where you're looking at as long-term pillars for the franchise moving forward.
We don't have the Eagles roster, is what I'm saying.
Hey, real quick, because I know we got Tyvis in 2 minutes, and we teased it. Logan Wilson goes to Dallas. It felt like this was going to happen. He'd been out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? Last couple of weeks.
They benched him. They protected him for trade. He hadn't been performing.
Right.
I liked him. We had him in studio, what was that, a year ago or two? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And after he got the money, and I was happy for him, but
7th round pick coming back to Cincinnati for Logan Wilson. So there's that. I just don't know if he just fell out of favor with Al Golden. It wasn't a fit in his defense. He's only 29.
Oh, you had who in studio?
Logan Wilson.
When was that? And why was that?
Too.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, you weren't here, and you weren't here.
What was that
I
for?
was here. Was this a dream?
No,
did
it
I dream
happened.
this up, or did I actually
right after the draft? They drafted him out of Wyoming?
Why would he be
he'd
here? Blue Jackets?
There was something with the Jackets. I think he was at a game or something, or they were hosting some guys, I think, at Nation. I think TLC's right, because that did ring a bell for me.
Maybe?
That he was here
after the Super Bowl run? No.
I don't know. But either way, you did interview.
Okay.
He
was here.
Logan Wilson was in this studio?
Well, actually in that one, but yeah. He was here.
He was in the building.
Okay. Yeah. Sound excited about it.
Yeah, that's a great get from a couple of years ago.
Goes on my resume. All right, we'll come back in 2 minutes with Tyvis Powell, and we'll get his opinion on the Brownies and the Buckeyes and more. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Hey, it's D. Miller. Guys, you know you feel it. Something's off. It's not just signs of aging. It's your energy slipping away. It could be low testosterone draining all the things that make you you. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy at Synergenics and Low T Center. They use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone to increase your level that is just right for you. They are one of the only providers that accept most major insurance. They make it affordable and easy for you to start and stay on treatment. Synergenics and Low T Center have clinics conveniently located around town. You could be treated in the clinic or receive at-home treatment. Either way, it all starts with a simple and quick free test at the center. With on-site labs, you'll get your results in about 20 minutes. For a limited time, visit any Synergenics or Low T Center for a free hormone consultation and a free T-test, and automatically enter for a chance to win either autographed sports memorabilia or even a pair of tickets to a major sporting event in town. Book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of our specialties here at Pella Wilson is getting rid of old, smaller windows with no view and replacing them with huge, beautiful windows that can change the look and feel of your home.
We tried that once, but we cut the hole a bit too big, so we had to put in a garage door instead in their dining room.
Wilson.
Didn't improve the view, but they do have a drive-through now, so you're welcome, Gruball family.
Get the windows that can change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale with same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Breaking Down the Browns with Tyvis Powell.
All right, he's the baller from Bedford with us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fangast Hotline. All right, my man, how you doing? Why'd you blow off the meeting today? Why'd you blow off the meeting this morning?
Well, I'm contractually obligated to be in Cleveland for other Tegna obligations, so that's why.
Good answer. Listen, it was the tough question at the presser. I had to ask it, and you answered it pretty well.
I'm just doing what my contract tells me to do. That's all.
Okay. Do your job. You're doing it. All right. Here's the other problem. Here's the other problem I have, and it's not really with you. And you can confirm this for me. Listen, we do a lot here with the Jackets. We talk a lot about them. Hockey and Hounds have been doing for a while now. And went to the first draft lottery in New Jersey and then the first draft in Calgary 25 years ago. And I've been talking about them for that long. And then they walk in a personalized Jackets jersey for you the other day, just out of the blue.
Is that, wait a minute, that bothers you?
I just want to know how that happens.
Well, see, the thing is this. So my producer, Dylan Gonzalez, shout out to Dylan, one of the best producers at 97.1 The Fan. Of course, not as good as Cole Bortimus or Panama Ted, but, you know, that's another story for another day. But Dylan
Is that a compliment? You just said you said your producer's one of the best, but he ranks third out of 3.
Yeah, you know, you gotta pay homage to the people that was there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's legends in that building.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark the Shark, wherever he at in his life. I can't believe that he actually retired on me for real. I thought he was joking. But anyways, back to Dylan. Dylan works for the Columbus Blue Jackets and does some radio stuff there. So he actually made a phone call for me to get that personalized jersey. So without Dylan, I wouldn't have gotten it.
He's better than me. I'm sorry, guys.
He just walked in a personalized jersey. Guy's been to one game his whole life. And
which the Jackets just so happened to win by a lot of points, had a hat trick going, a fight going, all the bells and whistles, you know what I'm saying? Me in the building at Nationwide, the Jackets is 1-0.
Okay. All right, then that's the reason. Okay. Good answer. He's 2 for 2 on answers, by the way.
The Brownies just made a trade about 15 minutes ago. I don't know if you're seeing this. They just traded away Joe Trinan for a 7th round pick. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a nothing burger. I mean, what is that supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? I think that the Browns are in the situation where, like, I don't think they're going to make a splash move because they're probably looking at the market like there is no move that can save this season. So, therefore, we're just going to have to address it in the offseason with maybe making some trades, some free agent signings, and then obviously that draft is going to be the biggest part of it. They have to get those 2 first-round picks right.
I want to zoom out from Cleveland and go down Cincinnati because you've been in these locker rooms, and I'm sure you heard the Chase Brown comment about the defense needing to close out games. What do you think that's going to do to that locker room now in Cincinnati?
I mean, it's one of those situations where the defense know that they bad. And I think they're going to have a kumbaya moment where they try to have a meeting, players-only meeting, and try to figure out how we can get it right because, you know, the other side of the ball is doing everything they're supposed to do. Why can't we hold up our end of the bargain? Like, to give up 47 points, like, that's ridiculous. You know, for a team that scored 42, like, you should win that game 98% of the time. So I think for them, they're going to be focused on trying to just get one more stop in the game. Because clearly their offense has shown that they can play with the best of them. They can score on the best defenses and all of those things. It's just that defense is going to have to challenge themselves to get one more stop a game. If they can get one more stop a game, they're going to win a lot of those games. So I think that's the kumbaya moment that they probably having in that defensive meeting room.
All right. I'm going to ask you this because you're the guy to answer it. And I feel like this is something I've seen at the college level and the pro level. And I don't know if this is being taught, coached, tolerated, or what. And I understand because, listen, I watched football a long time ago where you'd have safeties coming up and just taking guys' heads off, and that was what they were about. They weren't about tackling. They were about separating the ball from the guy, bang, bang plays. Once a guy has the ball, and yes, you can try to strip it, but you got to use your hands to do that. And I don't understand at that moment in time in the Bengals game, 22 seconds, no timeouts. I doubt they'll run another play. They'd have to run up and snap it. Why is Jordan Battle not attacking Loveland to get him to the ground and try to just put a shoulder? Is he trying to put a shoulder on the ball? Is he trying to just knock him down with his shoulder? It's an epidemic at a lot of high levels of football where guys do not wrap and use their arms tackling, and I don't get it. What did you see on that play?
Well, one, I think, Coastal Loveland is becoming a CWB. That's one. Two, I think Jordan Battle, you know, when you look at his profile, he is one of those guys that is a big-time hitter. So, you know, when you got that you know, swag where everybody know you from laying people out, you think you can go in, especially when a receiver or a pass catcher ain't paying attention and they like spin into you. Oh, them be the ones, AR, where you try to knock their head off their shoulder. You don't really need to wrap. And in that situation, he just kind of didn't realize, you know, that Tosin is a CWB, and he missed the tackle and he took it to the crib.
But he didn't use his arms. He came in with just a shoulder. Like,
it's a style points. You get style points for just being able to just use a shoulder to just drop him with a shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It's style points.
time and situation, that was atrocious.
And I want you to know that there is, when you see a player doing something, the great Luke Fickell taught me this. When you see an athlete do something on the field or on the court or wherever the sport is, when they do something, the coach is either coaching it or allowing it to happen. It's one of the two. That's the only reason that a player is doing it. They're either being coached to do it or their coach is allowing them to do that.
You know what it takes to play at a high level in the secondary. Well, what are your thoughts on this Sauce Gardner trade to Indy? Is he worth 2 first-round picks in your mind?
You know, Sauce came into the league, and he was really good. He's kind of fallen back a little bit over the past 2 seasons, especially last season. Everybody was talking about he's still one of the top ones. I'm like, if you watched him, he definitely took a step back. I think that had to do with the fact that, you know, a lot of the pass rush wasn't the same with the Jets. Going to Indy, I think that's going to be interesting. I don't know what Javarius Ward is. Is he healthy or not? But if he's still there and he's still healthy, I love that duo with them. And then you got Kenny Moore in the nickel position. I like what they're doing in the secondary there. It seems like to me that their posts are all in on this season. Making a move like that means that you truly believe in what you got and you truly believe that you can make a run for it. So I have no problem with it.
Browns come out of their bye week at the Jets. So I'm going to presume they'll be favored, maybe, I would think. Anyway.
I think they might be favored by 1.5.
All right. So then home against Baltimore, then at Vegas. Like their next 3 games are, quote, doable. So you're not thinking, so they're not sellers or buyers today. They're more just tread water.
Yeah, I just don't think that they can afford to go out and make the move because the asking price, like everybody wants them to go get a receiver. You know, you think of a Chris Olave, a Garrett Wilson, or Jalen Waddle. Well, what's the price on one of those guys? Probably a first rounder. Are you willing to part ways with a first round, or you could just get somebody in the draft with that next year? Now, we're talking about a second round, 2 second rounds or something like that. I would definitely take that deal. But a lot of people, like I talked to Mary Kay and Aditi, and they just feel like there is not the one person, there's not one player that can come in and just turn this season around that they can trade for. So if that's the case and that's how people are viewing it, then you got to attack it in the offseason.
And on the reverse side, you don't think they're going to try to, Haslam's going to order the code red and say, hey, we're going to need a quarterback and a quarterback-heavy draft again. Let's try to bottom out.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think they intentionally want to bottom out because you on record saying that you don't want to win. You got to win more than 3 games. So I don't think you just want to bottom out. But I think that just given the fact that the schedule is what it is, you know, Tommy Reese can't get through to these guys, which I like the move of him becoming a play caller because he's not that far removed from college. So he can still talk to college kids and still get them up to speed to an NFL playbook. So hopefully that helps Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders out in that aspect of the game. But I just think that, you know, given the schedule of what it is, this is a very winnable game. If they lose this game, I can see that everybody's just having that attitude that the season's over and all those things. Yeah. You win this game, there's still hope there.
All right, my man. Well done as always. Wear that jacket sweater proudly, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Blue Jackets, and go basketball team. How about that?
There we go.
Okay, well done. I didn't want to ask what that acronym he was throwing out.
I'll tell you during the break.
Okay. He did it twice, and I didn't want to sound stupid, which I already did.
During the break.
I may have an idea, but I'm not positive. We'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Ryan Day on the CFP and what it means. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey fans! fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin. You know the savings are so good. Great Lakes Hyundai of Columbus. Good. GLakesHyundai.com.
Imagine on an NFL Sunday being able to sit in a comfortable seat and watching 7 NFL games at once. Now imagine your favorite radio station giving away prizes including football tickets. On Sunday, November 7th at 1 p.m., join me, Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle from On the Money at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus for incredible food, giant screens, and lots of betting kiosks. That's Sunday at the best place to watch the games. 1 p.m., ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey there, you've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine. You could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt. But you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. But listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. That's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. Cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. Imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt. And you can stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. Get your all-cash offer now. Call 1-855-300-9993. Again, that's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Remember that rush you got as a kid ripping open your favorite pack of cards? Well, guess what? You can feel it again at Midwest Cards. Right next to Nationwide Arena, this place is a collector's dream with thousands of packs from all eras. Chase that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, pull a rare Michael Jordan, or even hit your favorite Pokemon and relive that childhood thrill. Plus, you can shop their pack wall, kick back in their roomy sports lounge, or even bring in your old cards to sell or trade. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fans YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Burb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today. It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another furnace breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day furnace installation.
All right, little Buckeye Bulletin time. I checked earlier on the spread. I think when this game was first announced, what was it, 28.5?
I don't think I've heard the spread this week.
I think it was 28.5 when I first saw it over the weekend.
I know at the Rothman Sportsbook, that's what you've been throwing at us. That this should be right around 30. So
I moved it up to 30. So it is 30, over under a 48 at Purdue. Purdue gave Michigan all they could handle. But they lost a piece, their running back.
Yeah, Haynes, he's down right now. Yep.
We'll have to examine that. Julian Sayin is having one of the most quiet Heisman-type years you'll ever see. And it's for a lot of reasons, right? He's ultra efficient. There weren't many. He's not like a true dual threat. And so, but he puts the ball anywhere he wants it. And he's got great weapons. But what he has shown now is his ability not just to be a pocket quarterback. That 3rd and 5, when he scrambled out of it against Penn State that led to a first down, that led to a touchdown, was as big a part of that game as anything we've seen. And the rollouts now, the poise that he's playing with, and the fact that no one truly is talking about Heisman over there, but I think they have to know that the next 3 games will provide some unbelievable stat potential. Not that he needs them, but this could go a long way. But here's saying after the game on what he's putting into this that translates to actual touchdowns.
So much work goes into it, from Sunday preparation all the way up until Friday, when we're still putting in stuff and we're still thinking of different ways. And then, we come in at halftime and we, have adjustments and we, put stuff, maybe something we ran before. And Carnell makes a great catch down there to get us down in the red zone. So, there's plays we rep, so many times, and it's awesome to see him show up. And then there's plays where we can go do it, adjust on the fly. So it's really awesome to see the difference between both.
So that's what led to the question today, because Julian kind of hinted, well, maybe we run some plays we don't really work on. Maybe they lead to some good stuff, and that's exactly what happened in that play. 1st and 10. And it's not like Penn State was blitzing. It was first down. They were rushing 4, and they diagnosed something that they knew that they could beat.
Yep, and this is greatness, evolving right before our eyes, because I think that's what we're going to be talking about when he's done playing at Ohio State, because you look around the corner to next year and the pieces that will be back, and you're like, okay, they're going to hit the ground running, but where he is right now, especially the last 2 weeks with the big-time plays, and you touched on some of the little things that he's doing at the quarterback position that you need to be really good. The pocket mobility, inside the pocket, outside the pocket. I don't think he's ever going to be a Will Howard type of runner. Don't think he needs to be that, right? As long as he has the protection, you see how elite the arm talent and the accuracy is. Like that's the key. Like I think sometimes you can get carried away with arm strength, and that's always fun to watch and all that. But if a guy is just pinpoint accurate the way that Julian is, you can be there in coverage, and it doesn't matter because the throw is just better than your coverage.
I also think, though, Matty, that this part of his game, this mobility that we're seeing now, is a reason that these teams are scared to completely all-out blitz him. Like, I think if you were a defense coordinator in typical 3rd and long, like they had a 3rd and 12, and Penn State didn't blitz, and they got called for PI, of all things. So I said it yesterday, there's a pick your poison. If you don't blitz, this offensive line is good enough to give them all the time in the world, and then you have to cover those weapons for 5 minutes, which you don't want to do.
Can't do it.
The other part of it is if you blitz him and you don't get home, or he beats pressure, he's good enough now to make you pay for that. If he wasn't mobile, he was really more of a guy that, could just slide a little bit, then I would say you'd see more blitzing. But I think he's showing you something with his feet now.
He can extend plays.
That has to scare defense coordinators.
Yeah, he can extend plays for sure, because he doesn't even have a game this year where he's rushed for 20 yards in a game. But what you're talking about is very impactful, right? Like where you're just talking about, hey, like, I don't know if we can get home. Like, and if we do get home, he's shown us enough to where he can escape and extend the play, and then the playmakers that he has, those guys are going to be open because you can't cover that long.
Here's Ryan Day on his quarterback and his demeanor at this point.
Well, that's something that's very hard to teach. When you can feel the rush and not have your eyes on it, your eyes can be down the field. You can anticipate what's happening, and the ball comes out. And I'd like to tell you that we coach that, but we don't. He has that feel, and that's something that makes quarterback special. He has that trait.
I heard Caleb Downs, they are hit him with the nickname. I think they're calling him J. Cool over there. And
I heard Gus Johnson say that on the broadcast, and he must have gotten that from somebody in the building.
I think that's where we're at. I think the guys are rolling with J. Cool. I think Julian probably signed off on that, but it fits his demeanor. He never really feels flustered. And then you heard Coach Day talking about the on-the-fly stuff. He mentioned it today. I think the line was, what did he say, or something about feeling comfortable throwing around the trees or something like
That's
that.
right.
Like, and that's what you got to have. Like, because we've seen quarterbacks get flinchy, right? When the pressure comes, he doesn't seem to feel that at all. And so that part, the mental part of it, that's connecting with his physical traits, is what's making him so special right now.
It's about a connection.
Yep.
Ryan Day was asked about the CFP getting revealed tonight. And there's anticipation that the number one team in the country in the rankings will be the number one team for the committee this week. Doesn't matter. He knows it. He dropped a hope nobody on our team pays attention to it. And he was like, whatever. He was asked about it again. He's like, is it good for the sport? Yeah. Are the TVs going to be on around here? Yeah. Will there be people watching it? Yeah. But it won't be me. And I thought it was a great answer. It's probably the right and probably a genuine answer as well.
Grinding the tape.
But then a little bit after that, I think it was Stephen Means, may not have that correct, but somebody asked him basically like, hey, how important is it to the program, or is it important to the program? Does it matter if Julian goes, if Jeremiah goes to New York, if you have the Heisman winner in your locker room? Like, does that stuff matter? And his response was, everything matters. So 2 seconds ago, it was, who cares if we're 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever? Now it's like, hey, man, we're all about the details. It's like, what?
Yeah, I'm not going to read into that,
out of that one
too much. Here's how you get out of it. That he knows that recruiting and branding and notoriety of the Heisman has some legs.
Yeah.
Like that has some, I can go to Ohio State and maybe win a Heisman.
Oh, yeah.
As much as trying to win a title.
Yep.
I think, Cole, it's a good point. I just think he looks at these rankings as something so
they're going to change,
uncontrollable as far as he can't control any of that.
Well, Heisman voting is also uncontrollable.
Well, it is, but it kind of isn't, because
it's his players, though, earning stuff. And you asked him about his players, and he wants to be able to say it matters because it's the work they're putting in
and
that might be realized.
And it's college football history.
And he can sign off on certain plays throughout a game. Like, he's not thinking this way, but he could, if he wanted to, impact how Julian's stats look game in and game out. But I take him for his word. He's not concerned about that. He's concerned about beating Purdue. And I think that's where a lot of head coaches are at. They're not really wrapping their minds around the stuff we talk about every single day.
He doesn't look at, technically, people being honored in New York at a Heisman ceremony as a, quote, distraction. I think he views paying attention to the first reveal of CFP a distraction. I mean, you're taking your eyes off the opponent this week if you're worried about where you're ranked.
They both can be right. They both can be. If the individual player that's in the Heisman race gets caught up in that stuff, then that's an individual distraction. But I just think from the top down, like, he's not allowing this team to look elsewhere than the opponent week in and week out and day out.
Good pun right there.
Thank you.
We come back, top of the hour fan sports update. We'll update you on the NFL trade deadline. And one college coach going to bat for these big guarantees. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Another summer has ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive. Perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Tri-State Men's Health and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At CARE, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. CARE Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing zero sugar cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in Ohio.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State linebackers Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese were named among the 12 semifinalists for the Butkus Award, given to college football's best linebacker. Tonight, the first college football playoff committee rankings released. After, join Timmy Hull and Tyvis Powell on the Fans YouTube channel at 8. NFL trade deadline drama continues today through 4. Earlier, Raiders wideout Jacoby Myers was traded to the Jaguars for 4th and 6th round picks. Bengals traded linebacker Logan Wilson to the Cowboys for a 7th rounder. And former Buckeye Draymond Jones was dealt from the Titans to the Ravens for a conditional 5th round choice. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Coming up on Rothman and Ice, Austin Ward joins to talk Buckeye football at 2:30 right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hour number 3. And we'll get into some Buckeye talk this hour, of course, as they head to Purdue this weekend. The NLCS home run ball hit the auction block from the historic Game 4 Shohei's. I guess that made some history.
Everything he does makes history, right? At this point, feels like every pitching outing he has, every time he steps to the plate, feels like he's got a chance to make some history, man.
Yeah, that'll be big money. I know if you had it, you'd ransom it back for a nice penny.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Listen, I get anything like that, I'm selling it immediately. Immediately.
Yeah.
You know where I am with, memorabilia and all that. It just doesn't light a flame over here for me. What lights a flame for me is money. So that's what I would like.
Hey, get you going. I understand it. Anyway, I just wanted to say that one's out there if you want to.
Okay. Okay.
If you have the means.
Okay.
By all means, pick it up. All right, so we'll get into the college football playoff. Before we do that, Sark was asked, and Texas is hanging by a thread. And I'll give them credit. They've come back. I don't see them making this run they're going to have to make. If the committee has them in the top 12 tonight, then that would tell me that they're kind of letting them rent the spot. The weird part is that Texas could leapfrog people if they beat Georgia and A&M anyway. So I hope that the committee doesn't do some sort of insulation rankings where they give teams kind of a pseudo rental hold on it, and because it sets the bar for them and it helps them navigate their way. Strength of schedule is obviously a big deal, and it should be factored in, right? I mean, that matters. We're dealing with human beings. This isn't a perfection. This isn't a science. Strength of record, strength of schedule, and I think you could probably give Texas a little bit of a bump here.
Yeah, that's going to be the fascinating thing for me to watch tonight is how high can Texas get in the initial batch of rankings here, because they do have on their resume what would qualify, I think, is 2 good wins, right? When you talk about the win against Vandy and the win against Oklahoma, and maybe in the eyes of the committee, they have that good loss on their record, losing to Ohio State, and how dominant Ohio State has been. That may go in their favor as well. And so they might sneak into that top 12 tonight. They might.
I don't see it. I'll be curious if they do, because then that means that branding wins. That somehow.
Well, it's the branding and the wins, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've got some good wins. I think we got to give them that, right?
Yeah. Like I said, they get a little bump here. The Ohio State-Indiana thing, we talked about this the other day. I think my mind tells me that Ohio State is a more complete team than Indiana right now. But that's just living here and knowing them and knowing what I see. It doesn't mean Indiana in a one-gamer couldn't take them to 4 quarters and, dare I say it, do the unthinkable, something they haven't done in how long? 30, almost 40 years. Beat them. Like, it doesn't happen.
Made them sweat a couple times, but they didn't beat them.
So if Ohio State, if they mimic the polls, then Ohio State will certainly be number 1. I said this the other day, and I believe it. If they were blind, and these people didn't know history, didn't know branding, they knew football, but they didn't know history, and they gave them the blind resumes of the 2 teams, and they took the names away. Like we're gonna. You guys haven't seen any football this year. It's kind of my box score thing. And you just handed them that sheet of paper that had Ohio State's schedule, but you didn't know who it was.
Yep.
And you had them the other sheet that had Indiana's schedule on it, and you saw who they beat and the scores.
Yep.
You wouldn't have a problem with saying, you know what, that team should probably be number 1 right now. You wouldn't. And so I don't think you'd have a problem either way, because they're going to hopefully play each other. And of all the teams that have to keep their eye on the prize, it's both of them, really, because Ohio State has the Michigan thing to deal with at the end.
For sure.
And Indiana has the historic thing to think about, which is, now, they don't need what they needed last year. Last year's Indiana schedule was a pseudo cakewalk. It was, outside of the couple that certainly they lost. But the fact this schedule has not been that way for them. They've actually earned everything they're getting here, and people do respect them. But if I was looking at their resume right now, you know, even the unranked win at Kinnick, going to Autzen and winning when they were 3, blowing out everybody they put in front of them. Illinois had the 9 in front of them, and they cracked them. I mean, honestly, you would say, boy, they've got enough.
Here's my concern for Indiana. It's not tonight's rankings, AR. It's in the coming weeks because of their schedule. And there's going to be teams behind them that if they pick up those wins, I think they're going to get leaped. Right?
Because really, even if they keep cracking these teams?
I just think some of these SEC teams that are going to run into each other, that are going to be ranked on ranked matchups, that could get tricky for Indiana when there's only Penn State, Wisconsin, and Purdue left on your schedule. And so they could win the Big Ten championship and all that stuff and control their own destiny that way. But that would be a little concern for me if I were an Indiana fan in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Also, I want to ask this. Like, is there a world where Alabama's going to be ranked higher than Indiana tonight? Because Alabama if we want to play just the schedule game alone, they have arguably the strongest schedule in the entire country with the wins that they have. The one blemish they have is obviously the Florida State loss, and Florida State's not helping them at all with them being in the basement of the ACC right now. But when you talk about Alabama, it's wins against Georgia, Vandy, Tennessee, and Missouri. Now, Tennessee is going to be the interesting one to see where they're at tonight. They may not be ranked at all, but those other three teams, like Alabama, I think is probably banging the table and saying, well, look at our resume and what we've done.
It's good. I don't think you would say to yourself that Bama right now, and this goes to the eye test too. This because, by the way, it's a formula. It's not just strength of schedule, even though that is a big part of it.
Yeah,
I think that loss would drag them down below Indiana right now, currently. The fact that Indiana's undefeated with a win at Autzen and a cracking of Illinois and the other stuff we pointed out, I
Would
think
you
that
be surprised,
offsets.
though, if they did that? Because I wouldn't be surprised tonight if they have Bama ahead of Indiana.
I mean, Vandy lost, right?
To Texas, yeah.
And Tennessee lost.
Mm-hmm.
To good opponents.
It's this. We don't know what type of credit they're willing to give them for beating those teams at the time.
That's the beauty of the week one.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, no one's putting a ton of stock in this, but that is the beauty of week one, is to kind of, at this point, to see whether they're rewarding eyeballs or schedule or both or branding.
Right.
Like, that's the beauty of this one. And then the sad part about it is that they can apply whatever criteria they want to each individual team.
Yeah.
Like, they could say that Alabama has a better strength of record or strength of schedule than Ohio State. However, we know they're not a better team. Our eyes are telling us they're not. And that loss is telling us they're not. Like, you have to reward the unblemished part of it, too.
I can't wait to hear what they say about that Florida State loss for Alabama. Will they give them the grace of it was week one and, all that stuff, and it's, you're still figuring things out, yada, yada, yada. Like, that's just outside of what happens.
I don't know how you can with Florida State
being in the basement.
So bad.
I get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm just curious to hear what they say about that, because I have to imagine there's some people in that committee room that are going to be digging in on Alabama and their resume versus Indiana and the wins that they have. And so they're going to get some votes, I think, to be number 2 tonight. Alabama will.
Yeah, I would think they're going to be 4 at best. They might get some votes, but I just think the fact you have 3 undefeateds that have meaningful parts to hang your hat on. Like, when I'm talking about BYU, I'm talking about Ohio State, Indiana, and A&M. By the way, before we let's hear that Sark bite, Cole. I want to hear this one about. So he was asked about these guarantees and all the buyouts and whether that needs to change. And of course, he's human and he's a coach, so you expect him to kind of take up for coaches. But I wanted you to hear this.
The amount of, 1 week you're a hero, the next week you're a zero mentality that fan bases and people want to have. Surely coaches want some security to what they sign up to go do. We work really hard, and I get it. We all want to win, and we're all busting our tails to try to win, and sometimes things don't go your way, especially in our conference. It's tough. And so the idea that coaches don't want some security in the jobs that they take, that doesn't quite make sense to me. It should be like, man, somewhere in here, somebody has got to be willing to say, hey, let's see if this can work itself out. Not every year, not all 16 teams in the SEC are going to go to the playoff. It's just not reality. We're talking about trying to get 4 or 5 teams in this year. Last year we got 3. Everybody wants to fire their coach. Who are you going to hire? There's all these jobs out there right now. Who's everybody going to hire? I don't know. We'll find out. Somebody's got to be the head coach.
So 2 things went through my mind when he said it, and one's on his side and one's against him. The on his side part is, I don't think he's crazy wrong to think that coaches, they make a lot of money, but the fact that none of this is on players. Like, we always take the players out of the mix.
And I hear what he's saying, but I think, like, in the cases of Brian Kelly and James Franklin, that had been building for years. This wasn't just knee-jerk reactions where guys have been there for 1 or 2 years and you're firing them. Like, these guys showed who they were for a lot of time, and those programs felt like they can't get us over the top, so they decided to move on. So I kind of disagree with him in that we've got this vibe of just we're firing head coaches all the time. We're in the eye of the storm right now where a lot of head coaches are getting fired, but they're giving these coaches some years to figure it out before they say, we're good, we're moving on to somebody else, and we'll pay you on the way out.
The Franklin one's weird because he was coming off a semifinal. Like, he was coming off of a playoff run. Like, he had not fallen crazy short the year before. Yeah. It was the expectations of this year that sunk him.
Yep.
The other part where I would be against him would be when he's talking about security and they need all this $50, $60, $70 million buyouts. Say, your salary is your security.
100%.
Well, you're getting paid now. Right. And I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but it's the amount of guarantees that I think are getting out of whack. Yeah. So he's right to think anybody in any job listening deserves severance pay if you get fired. But their severance pay is a lottery ticket.
Like, so you don't have to work again in your life.
And
lottery
your
ticket.
kids don't have
Correct.
to.
Yeah.
So
ain't nobody got time for that.
They invest it properly. My goodness, like, we deserve security.
Okay.
How was $11 million
exactly
a season? Is that enough security for you?
More than enough, they are. More than enough. We got the Jets ain't done.
Oh, are they doing more?
Another big time trade for the Jets. And it involves another defender going away from the Big Apple. We'll talk about it next in Pre-Snap Reads. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity, I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you pick match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports, ball, or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
T-Bone and Tyvis.
Cooper Flag. He played in Maine.
He from Maine?
Yes, he is from Maine. They said the whole
Never
state.
even heard of somebody being from Maine.
T-Bone and Tyvis Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, but a little bit warmer. Daytime highs will get up right around 60 degrees with a lot less wind. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, becoming clear overnight with lows in the 40s. For Wednesday, warm and windy with plenty of sunshine. That'll boost those highs in the upper 60s to sunspots right around 70 degrees. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Ice, a little Bet365 time.
Let's get into it because at Bet365, they're taking care of new customers with a great deal where you can bet $5 and you're going to get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose, ladies and gentlemen. So take advantage of this deal. Download the app and you can turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on player props, spreads, totals, and money lines. What you got your eye on?
You know, Maction. I think tonight I was looking at that. I was looking at maybe just trying to get a conservative win here. Just take Akron on the money line against UMass. And instead of picking a side in the Miami OU game, I thought maybe I would just bet Miami over 20.5 points.
Okay.
Get them to 21. So if I parlay that, Miami 20.5 over and Akron to beat UMass, that gets me to even money.
I like it. I'm looking at tonight the Magic and Atlanta Hawks playing. And I don't know if Trae Young's going to play in this game, but I like what they have around Trae Young. And I like the juice on the Hawks at plus 135 tonight to beat the Orlando Magic. So, again, download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, so the Jets are unloading.
Another one.
Well, they won 7. I mean, this is definitely the race to be the last place team. Like, they got to make sure they get there. So who'd they dump now?
They have just traded away Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Dallas Cowboys. So Jerry double
Not Quincy Williams.
Quinnen Williams,
okay.
yes.
I think they have a Quincy as well.
To the Dallas
brothers.
Cowboys. Yeah,
That's
the
right.
bros.
Yeah. I just want to make sure which brother they traded.
Thank you.
Right.
This is Quinnen.
Is that your little brother? Is this the little brother?
Good looking kid.
Now, Quinnen's probably 30. They're not twins, are they?
No, I don't think they're twins.
And twins.
I don't think so.
Quincy and...
I picked up that reference. That was great.
How could you have picked up that reference? That's like from 20 years ago.
2004. I just watched that commercial on YouTube last week.
It's crazy.
That song was in my head for an entire week.
And twins.
Quinnen
and Quincy are brothers who play professional. This is AI. I need a...
Quincy's 29. Quinnen is 27.
By the way, what do you think Schefter's up to right now?
Okay. He's grinding. He is
so
grinding.
They traded
right
Quinnen.
Quinnen, yes. They traded Quinnen Williams to Dallas, and the Jets are picking up another first-round pick.
I would think he'd be part of the rebuild. Like, that's an actual tangible piece that could be part of the rebuild.
The rebuild are the first-round picks now because they got 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. They got 1 now for Quinnen Williams. We got Breece Hall tweeting out gifts, so he may be hinting at something. He may be on his way out, too.
What are the gifts, Matty?
I don't even know how you would just Anthony Anderson behind like a pole right here looking real creepy. Like, I don't know how we would describe that. But that's Breece Hall's doing that right now on Twitter. This makes sense to me.
What did they offer for him? You said
they got a first-round pick from Dallas, Quinnen Williams. So 3 first-round picks picked up for 2 players today for the JETS.
Here's another star that they traded for a pick. Now, I get it because this season's lost. So that star can't help you this year, and it's another year of risking health and all that. Yep. And he's 27,
he's
you said?
27.
All right, so he's okay in that area. Boy, they are going all in on the sell.
This is how you
at least
do
they're
it.
consistent.
This is what I like. But when
Proven
teams do,
players?
If you're going to tear it down, don't be in the middle. Just go all the way to the basement. And
not to the right, not to the left, but right in the middle.
Exactly. So that's what you have to do if you're the Jets. And so Garrett Wilson's probably looking around and saying, "Man, I signed that extension to come back into the building for this every day. That's tough. That's tough because if you're Garrett Wilson, like you're realizing right now that for the next 2 to 3 years, probably we're not going to be doing much contending at all.
Not if they get a quarterback.
Well, that's a big if, right? Like there's a lot of teams that get these first round picks that think that that's going to equate to the future and immediate success. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So hopefully for the Jets that's the case. But I'm sure Garrett Wilson's probably a little frustrated right now because this is a tough pill to swallow because his NFL career has been clunky.
I think he knew. You're right. They're replacing proven guys with picks. And that can be demoralizing because you know that's going to take longer to get there.
Yeah, it's tough to come into work in a losing environment every day. And like you said, maybe this isn't going to be a long-term thing.
Are you speaking from experience?
No, I'm not. I've never felt that way coming here. No,
I wasn't sure. Get that drop. Use that drop. It's tough to come in here. He didn't say
in
here.
A losing environment. It can be.
And try to make something out of it.
Oh, man. So, yeah, look, Jerry Jones, he was hinting at yesterday before the game. I got something up my sleeve, maybe some stuff happened. Sitting in the suite with Stephen A. Smith in his all-pink suit last night. Stephen A. looking Easter fresh yesterday in November.
Anything to stand out, I guess.
So, yeah, Jerry, he traded away Micah Parsons. And now you bring in Logan Wilson and you bring in Quinnen Williams. And so I have to imagine there's some Cowboy fans that feel okay about this. But after the loss last night, this may not matter that much.
You get hit by a car. Seriously.
It's 3-5-1 going into his bye week. Mm-hmm. He comes out and has to play at Vegas. Okay. Let's get him a win there. Maybe. 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
4-5-1. Home against Philly. Home against Kansas City. At Detroit. He's going to win one of those? I doubt it. He could. Divisional rival, Philadelphia. I don't know.
And maybe this defense will be shored up. Maybe these two guys can shore up the defense enough to where they go from bad to average, I guess, and that can be the difference with the offense that they had, because that's what we were talking about with last year's Bengals team was nobody's asking you to be one of the top defenses in the sport. Just get to the middle of the pack. And maybe now for Dallas, they can do this with the guys that they just brought in their front seven.
The good news for the Dallas's defense is that the offense was fumbling the ball away. So they don't have to infight like the Bengals do.
Right. Another move that happened today, I know we brought up his name yesterday, AR, was wide receiver Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
He got traded today to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so
Okay.
The Jags lost Travis Hunter for the year, maybe.
Yeah.
Like he's on IR. They don't seem very optimistic about what he's going to be able to do for them on the field the rest of the way.
Out. Jacoby wanted out.
Absolutely wanted out.
I don't think he got to a great situation, but a better situation.
It's a better situation. I agree with you. I saw Diana Rossini reported that the Bills and the Steelers were in communication with the Raiders about Jacoby Myers. So it kind of takes us into the headspace of where Pittsburgh is now.
Yeah, here's where it'll help him. He's in the final year of his deal. He gets to a better quarterback and keeps his stats up. He might have a chance to parlay that into something.
Decent coin, yeah.
Yeah. He's fine, right? I mean,
Yeah,
came into the league undrafted. Has done some good stuff for himself.
He's one of those guys, to where I don't think he's a true number one in the league. But if you have a guy in-house that is your number one, he can be a really good complement to that. Like, to me, he's that type of wide
Plus,
receiver.
now that Bowers is healthy.
Oh, my gosh, what a Sunday he had.
I feel like they were able to... You know who caught his... You know who threw him
He
his...
is bald.
Hey, Maddie will know this trivia question.
Like, with 22?
Maddie will know this trivia question.
Yeah.
Do you know who caught his first pass pre-draft?
Wait, what?
Who did Brock Bowers catch his first pass from pre-draft? Like, after his college career was over, you know.
Like in workouts?
In workout. I guess you could call it.
It was a workout.
You could call it a workout. Who did he catch his first pass from?
One of you two?
How would that have even entered your mind? How would that have entered your mind? Why wouldn't you have thought of his college quarterback or whatever? It was one of us. It was me.
It was AR dropping dimes in Vegas to Brock Bowers. I was watching.
He wanted to borrow the football for a prop, for a photo op.
And you said go long?
And we had one. And I said to him, for the trade, I'll let you have our football as long as I can throw you a few passes.
Yeah.
And he was like, absolutely, automatic.
Ooh, you're the rookie tight end whisperer in fantasy and real life. You've done this for 3 straight years. Tyler Warren, Brock Bowers,
Sam Laporta
and Sam
was
Laporta.
first, yeah. I feel like this is part of how GMs think. I think this way in fantasy. I imagine in reality it works somewhat similar.
I love that my little chuckles at the back.
That's good. All right. Listen, if you want to go and get a great ride for a great price and have the reliability, see my friends over at Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road. And I could throw some great leases at you. The Honda Accord LX for $199 a month, or finance it for 3.99% APR. But what you already know is they're going to have great deals on vehicles that you already know and love. The redesigns, the CR-V, LX, all-wheel drive going into winter. It is about the biggest bang for the buck vehicle you could ever get. $319 a month you can lease it for. You can finance it for 4.99% APR. But don't wait. Go over to Germain Honda of Dublin. See my friend Jerry. Talk to Rich. Talk to the people behind these great deals. They want to make you happy, and they want to keep you a customer for life. You already know about the reliability, the style, the comfort of Honda. Buy it from the right dealership. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. We come back in 2 minutes with our friend Austin Ward, and we'll get his confidence on a certain area of this football team. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Living in Ohio, you want your home to be comfortable year-round, your family protected, and an investment you can feel great about for years. Now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you could save big on windows that do just that. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you can get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good you'll actually save money on lower utility bills every single month. And they're backed with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation even has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 45,000 5-star customer reviews. And did I mention you could celebrate your newly upgraded home with a chance to get 2 Ohio State game day tickets? Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, plus 0% financing for 5 years. Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com today to get started. That's windownation.com.
Rossman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's Let's do a little day tripping.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Plumbing. Call us today at 1-800-FURNACE for all your plumbing and drain service needs. Yes, 1-800-FURNACE works for plumbing, too.
All right, we'll be doing some day tripping with our friend Austin Ward as soon as TLC gets him on the horn. Ohio State. There was a little bit of an injury update today that Ryan Day thought he'd be getting back some guys. I think even the quote was kind of full steam ahead, but we'll get the inside slant from our guy, A-Dub. Good to have you, my man. How you been?
Awesome. Great to be with you guys. Busy day, always. Getting ready for game number 9, and this time is flying by, Anthony. But as you said, a lot of news and notes to get to.
All right, so the O-line. Let's do a couple things first. Let's ask you about Luke, Integra, and Padilla. I think Ryan said 2 of them are back. Do we know what's happening there? Can you play the little shell game with us?
He is. He's shuffling it around a little bit, and it feels like I'm going to be a little bit cautious with it because I think we're going to have to wait and see who all actually gets out there. Luke Montgomery, he kind of gave a thumbs up leaving the field on Saturday. Earlier today, we saw Josh Padilla getting a little bit of work in the Woody, so I don't know if that means rehab work or getting ready for practice. So I'm going to wait until we get off the practice field on Wednesday night to try and get a better feel for that. But it's kind of interesting how it has worked out, Anthony, because we've spent the last 3 weeks talking about the guard position and were they going to make a move with Josh Padilla to elevate and replace Tegra Shabola. And then Tegra, I watched him coming off the practice field last Wednesday. He was getting extra work and staying on the field as one of the last guys to leave it, to be honest with you. And that's not normally a spot that he's been in. And then he goes out and has one of his better performances of the year. And I had asked Ryan Day about that, a couple of hours ago about just, and it seems like he needs a different kind of motivation. He needs to be pushed. He needs to be challenged. He almost needs to have his job threatened before the best of him comes out. I thought that he played really well on Saturday. And if it ended with, a little bit of a lower leg situation that, forces Ohio State to do something different on Purdue, I think that would be a little bit unfortunate for him. But we'll see what that looks like. This isn't the kind of thing that Ohio State wants to be dealing with, but it's also a good time to be doing it with Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers here before they head in to the big house at the end of the month.
Austin, one thing for me personally that's been cool to hear throughout the season is Coach Day talk about the growth, that he's seeing from Julian week in and week out. And I sit on the couch watching these games. There's some things I can pick up with my amateur eye, but clearly Coach Day is seeing things differently and knows much more about all this than I ever will. But we're watching this guy, Austin, grow, right? And it's just the small details, I think, of what it takes to be an elite quarterback in the sport, and he's showing that. So just from your perspective, being around this guy now, what type of growth have you seen from him?
Yeah, dramatic, Maddie, to be honest with you. And I'm right there with you. I mean, we watch a lot of college ball, but we are not anywhere near the experts when it comes to breaking down the film study like Ryan Day or Billy Fessler or Brian Hartline, obviously. But I think back to, really, for me, it's the day before the spring game. And he had a great performance in the spring game, and that was a performance that a lot of people were latching on to say, well, this quarterback battle, that's in name only. Julian Sain's going to be the guy. I don't know why Ryan Day's waiting to name him the starter. It was the day before where it was a chilly morning. It was the coach's appreciation, practice, and we got to watch it. It wasn't full contact. It wasn't the same thing as the next day, but Julian Sain was really struggling with just basic handoffs and ball security. And I know that there had been some, conversation and hand wringings there were days that Lincoln Kienholz was clearly performing better in those practices. And that's not just my opinion. I think it was everybody with a more trained eye that was saying that's the situation that was happening in March and April. But you look at the development and every single thing that they've asked of Julian Sain, he has worked on, he has improved, he has enhanced. The natural gifts have always been there. You talk about the ball placement and the accuracy. A year ago, we were talking about the decision-making and his ability to process defenses. All that stuff was there, but I think it was probably just a matter of gaining more experience than anything else. And once he started to pull away in August, and then Ryan Day alluded to this more specifically, he talked about the throw to Carnell Tate against Texas, where he felt like that was, okay, a moment where you have something and you could start to add to the plate. And I know that I've talked to you guys about this on these Tuesdays over the last couple of months, that they're not just saying that, they're actually doing it. And every week it's something more that Julian Sayin is doing. It is something more that the offense is doing. It's an adjustment in the game with a route. This has happened 2 weeks in a row, actually, where Carnell Tate, against Wisconsin, slid into the slot and ran a route that he hadn't run in 2 years. And Julian Sayin finds him for a touchdown. They hadn't repped it in practice. Then they did it again on Saturday against Penn State, the second play of the third quarter. They just drew that up in the locker room, and Carnell Tate and Julian Sayin were able to go out there and execute it. This stuff is very uncommon, but especially for someone who is only starting his 8th game as a college football quarterback and the quarterback of a national title contender. And I think what we're watching with Julian Sayin is incredibly rare, and I think it's even more impressive when you put it in the context of how far he's come over the last 7 months.
So I'm going to bridge off of that, Austin, and tell you what I was most impressed with this weekend and what I've seen out of him. We knew he was talented. We knew he had an arm. We knew he had a great delivery and a quick release. Yep. The thing I didn't know coming into this season was his true mobility and his true instincts to want to go get it, like Will Howard did. So, but what I saw this weekend were 2 plays in the first half that I think illustrated this for me. One, I think it was Bo Jackson who missed a block in the backfield, and Sayin was able to buy time and hit Max Clare on the sideline. Right. For a young quarterback, that was big. And then later in the game, or later in the half, Austin Serveld gets beat on the line, and Julian scrambled out of the pressure to pick up a first down that led to that touchdown that made it 17-7. Those were the 2 plays that I didn't know before the season how he would be able to react to when his line broke down or somebody missed a block. Would he panic? Would he force a throw? Would he fumble the ball? Would he get strip sacked? Like, none of that exists right now, really. And I think those are the things that there's no way the 3 of us could have known before the season that I saw kind of evolving this weekend.
Well, and it's not just us, Anthony. I mean, Ryan Day couldn't know that. Brian Hartline couldn't know that. Billy Fessler couldn't know that because he hadn't been in those situations. He hadn't had the program in his hands and the pressure of winning a national championship on his shoulders. The only way you can find out is to let him go out there and do that. And I think there's a piece here where you think back to the Texas game and how much Ohio State seemed to be protecting him and not asking too much of him. And a lot of it feels like to me anyway, and there were national media members in the press box on Saturday that also informs this opinion, that watched the Texas game and then tuned out on Ohio State and tuned out on Julian Sayin over the last 8 games and are missing the things that you're talking about, the plays that show you that he's got a different level of athleticism to him, that he's got a different level of confidence to him, that he's got a different level of awareness to him in the pocket, that he's got more, dual threat ability. I joked with him on Saturday to call him that because of the scramble. He's not going to be somebody that Ohio State asks to run the zone read a ton, but he did that against Wisconsin. We saw him scramble for the first down that was so critical against Penn State. He has more ability in his feet than he gets credit for, and you're finding that out more every single week. And I don't think that means that they're going to change the offense to start featuring that a little bit more because his arm is so important. But when plays break down, and they will, like Austin Serveld has not missed many blocks this year, but he did on Saturday. And sometimes your quarterback is going to have to make those plays because the pass protection is not ever going to be 100% flawless when you play, a Penn State front or Alabama in the playoff or whoever. I mean, anybody once you get to the talent-equated games or Michigan in the big house, like you're going to have to at some point make 3 or 4 of those plays. And Julian Sayin is proving every single week that he is more than capable of doing that.
He sure is. All right, the ride continues, buddy, and we'll continue with you over the next few weeks. Thanks, bud. Have a good one.
Can't wait. See you guys.
That's Austin Ward with us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Fellas, listen closely. If you think Father Time is tapping you on the shoulder and trying to hang your jersey up in the rafters so you can't enjoy the things that you used to do, don't worry about that, because you can get over to the Columbus Men's Clinic and tell Father Time to get away from you, because they are going to take care of you with real science, real treatments, no gimmicks, and no online quick fixes that can leave you frustrated. If you've been dealing with low T, if you've been dealing with ED, hit them up at 614-300-7400, or you can visit them online at columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation, guys, including blood work, is just $99, and they will find a plan that works with your budget. So take care of yourselves, fellas. You only get one life, as we all know. Make it the best that you can. Don't procrastinate with your health. It is the worst thing that you can do. So call them right now and get it done at 614-300-7400, or you can find them online at columbusmensclinic.com.
The Jets have 2 first-round picks next year and 3 first-rounders in 27.
Julian saying, come on down?
The patience may pay off. If this is the...
Will Aaron Glenn be the quarterback? Yeah. The quarterback. He won't be the quarterback.
Doesn't feel like it.
Will he be the head coach?
They took his top 5 defense and dropped a wrecking ball into it today.
It was time.
Yeah.
It was time.
All right, we'll come back, tell the truth next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Dormar, you're climate hero. When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Forever starts with the perfect diamond. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar, and for over 78 years, our family has helped generations of couples celebrate love with brilliance, quality, and unbeatable prices. At Diamond Cellar, bigger diamonds and better prices are our promise to you. Whether you're popping the question or upgrading your sparkle, trust the experts. Because diamonds, they're our forte. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com.
Hey there, you've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine. You could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt. But you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. But listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. That's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. Cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. Imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt. And you can stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. Get your all-cash offer now. Call 1-855-300-9993. Again, that's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Dormar, you're climate hero.
Imagine on an NFL Sunday being able to sit in a comfortable seat and watching 7 NFL games at once. Now imagine your favorite radio station giving away prizes, including football tickets. On Sunday, November 7th at 1 p.m., join me, Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle from On the Money at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus for incredible food, giant screens, and lots of betting kiosks. That's Sunday at the best place to watch the games. 1 p.m., ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season with a Home for the Holidays raffle. And help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish Kids. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidays.columbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidays.columbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Right now, get 50% off all window styles from Window Nation at windownation.com.
All right, TLC, take us home.
Fellas, I tried like hell. I cannot find this slab of bacon drop.
Really?
For the life of me.
Okay. Well, we know what happened.
We absolutely
believe it happened last season.
Last football season.
I'm not 100%.
I'm like 90% sure it was last year.
I asked him, and he thought he didn't remember either. He even threw out Texas.
I couldn't even find his hit before the Texas game.
The Friday before the Texas game?
No, the Texas game was midweek because it was a playoff game.
No.
So the playoff game was Friday. I'm pretty sure.
The Texas one?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
Let me go back and look.
We may have had some alternate programming leading up to that. Speaking of, I'll tell the truth. Now, I don't know how locked in and final these things are, but as of right now, the Ohio State basketball Buckeyes on Tuesday, December 23rd, have a game at 2 p.m.
So we could get a doubleheader.
Wait, what?
Go ahead. What were we going to say?
I was going to say we get half the day off.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, don't even put that out there.
What?
We'll find something for us to do. You put that out there this early?
We do the show. We do half a show.
We just get done at 1:30 or 1:15.
No, I know. We may not be done. That's what I mean.
Oh, we're hosting post game?
I would like to think Fish would say, hey, you know what? See ya.
Dollars work for a dollar's pay. I don't know.
I think he'd say, see you tomorrow.
You know where I thought you were
going? Do you think we'd get bumped to the AM?
I
don't think so.
You know where I thought you were going with that, which wouldn't make any sense because it wasn't last year, is, would we have a football game, but Ohio State wouldn't be playing until New Year's Eve? Would there be a college football playoff?
It came out today. You're looking at the first round is going to be Friday, December 19th, and Saturday, the 20th.
Okay.
And then you will have the quarterfinals the 31st. And then New Year's Day, you'll have 3 games. Semifinals will be the 8th and the 9th of January, and then the Natty will be Monday, January 19th. That's your CFP
How about Jake and the boys? The best defense is a great offense.
Something like that.
You were in the building yesterday, TLC. What'd you think?
I think that Indy...
118 points, giving up 102?
Don't love that. Like the offensive part of it. Don't love the defensive part.
You know what the over-under on the game was last night?
No.
So that's what, 220 points?
Yeah.
The over-under was 179.5.
Before I left yesterday, CBRO producer looked at me and said, bet the over on this game. And the man was right.
I think it was 66-50 at halftime or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they shot 63%. It's like a Nerf hoop. But I don't know how they gave up 102 to IU Indy.
Well, I'll tell you at least partly how. So Indianapolis ran a full court press for all 40 minutes. And so
Nolan Richardson, 40 minutes of hell.
He was the one who shouted out Larry Bird in his Hall of Fame speech, right? That Nolan Richardson?
No, I don't recall.
I don't think I've ever heard
saying that.
We'll play. You know what? We'll play that audio sometime later in the show. But so they ran the press.
We're doing another show
later in the week. How about that? But Indianapolis ran a full court press the entire game. I think Ohio State kind of struggled with it at first a little bit, and then it was also kind of this thing like Ohio State when they would break the press, they would have a fast break. And then they'd score, and then Indianapolis would get the ball out underneath the rim, and then because their defense was behind Ohio State, now they're actually set up for a perfect fast break going the other way.
You know what I'm hearing?
And so just sprinting back and forth with everybody having the advantage.
You know what I'm hearing, AR? His bro isn't giving him good enough look in practice on offense.
I got big time by him yesterday, by the way.
Gong. We got to get your brother to drop some more buckets on him in practice.
I know.
So the Larry Bird thing from Nolan Richardson, and I don't remember him, I guess he did say this, that when he first heard about Larry Bird, it was on the radio. And by the end of the broadcast, he realized that this kid from Indiana State was going to be a superstar. And during his Hall of Fame speech 10, 11 years ago, he did recount the day he first heard about him. And the quote was, "Damn, that brother can play." And then when he saw his picture in the newspaper the next day, he was a little surprised.
Come on, man.
That's what it said. That's what he says.
That's unreal, man. That's good. Hey, real quick, we mentioned the college football playoff. The rankings are coming out tonight. Tim Hall and Tyvis Powell break it all down live at 8 p.m. on the Fans YouTube channel. Where are the Buckeyes? What's next? Find out tonight at 8 only on the Fans YouTube.
This Bama potentially over A&M could get some people talking.
And Indiana.
I don't think Indiana will be above them, although Indiana is 9-0. So it could, and no one would freak about it.
No, I don't think there's need to freak at all.
Their point differential looks the part, too. They're winning games.
Yeah,
their average game is like 46 to 10.
Indiana?
That's right.
Yeah,
it's not last year's schedule.
They're not messing around, which is a nice feather in their cap as well. But I just think some of that SEC, it just means more type of juju they got going on. I think Bama's going to be in the top 4. Where? That's what I'm very curious to see, AR, because their resume is good.
Here's our drop to take us out.
You wake up today at lunch. I don't know why.
Wake up today at lunch.
Be a nice life. Be a nice life if you can get it.
Perfect.
No doubt. Hey, before we go, if you miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Bet365 is the sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. Timmy, he's going to hit you with his thoughts on Buckeye basketball as well, so don't miss that.
Tomorrow, Hockey and Hounds, Zach, 2:30.
Okay.
Live from Calgary.
There we go.
Alberta, Canada. We'll have that and a lot more. And the CFP reaction. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.